Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to V-Speed as it's Wednesday night, and we're back for the OB Builders Cup Series here at Richmond Raceway. And we're calling this one the Ram 250. And hopefully it's not going to be 250 Rams. That's lame. I shouldn't have said that. But hopefully it's not a Ram type of night. But, man, getting ready for some short track racing. And hopefully no wins get taken away. I'm joined in the booth with Jake Reeves, my good old buddy. We're back. Jake, got 2 weeks off, man. How you feeling here tonight?
Oh, man, I'm telling you, Eddie, I mean, it's been a great 2 weeks off. Drank a lot of beer, spent a lot of time with the families. Hopefully everyone out there has been able to spend a lot of time with their family members as well. And if you do drink, hope you kicked a couple back for me anyway. But it's been a good 2 weeks. It's much needed, I guess you could say, breather, Eddie, because obviously these seasons are very, very, very long. Especially with the Moonshiners Racing League, very, very long season. So, I mean, it's always nice to have you a little break here and there.
Yeah, so we've enjoyed a little Olympic break, and, man, just been having a great time. But this season is still underway, and, man, we're getting right into the meat of the schedule. We're just about playoff racing as we start this last little run to the playoffs, final 4 races before we cut the rest of the field off, maybe trim the fat a little bit. I'll probably get some nasty PMs about that. But 4 races to go: Richmond, Michigan, Daytona, and Darlington to set the round of 16. And we have, I mean, it's been a fantastic season. Some of the best racing I've ever seen. Some of the best drivers. I mean, these strength of fields are over 3,000 in this league, which is pretty rare. Let's take a look at your point standings. Right now, Randy Mullins continues to be atop of the point standing. I've never seen anybody take it from him so far this season. Just been unbelievable. It's got those 2 wins. Alex Coffey right there behind him. And then the spring Richmond winner, Matt Cox, sitting there in 3rd. He's always a threat. And you look down at the bottom, Jake, we talked a little bit about it. Jeff Taylor, Justin Belmont sneaking up there in the bubble spot. They need a good race tonight. You see Justin Belmont 29 points above the cutoff. He needs to have a good one tonight to kind of continue that trend, because I'm telling you, Darlington, Daytona, they can really put hurting on points.
Yeah, absolutely. But also, I mean, with these short tracks, especially how Richmond is tonight, Eddie, this could be kind of one of those wild card races right here for some of these guys. You know, a lot of drivers out there might get stacked up, could end up causing somebody to possibly get a meatball flag, and then that could basically turn your season literally upside down, and that is no joke. So those guys right there on that playoff bubble, just trying to make sure that they stay into the top 16, they're going to have their work cut out for them. Their main deal is just to survive. At least that would be my opinion right there on that bubble. Your plan is just to survive here this evening.
Yeah, survival. And if you're up there and locked in, it's all about getting that momentum pointed in the right direction. Make sure you're hitting on all 8 cylinders as we roll into the playoffs. Well, Jake, tell us a little bit about Richmond Raceway.
Well, I mean, obviously, Richmond, Virginia, 3/4 of a mile. You see it right there on your screen. 14 degrees in the turns, 8 on the front. 4-corner D oval, folks. Way, way, way back in 1946 is when this bad boy opened up. A lot of people look at Richmond very, very similar to Iowa. We ran Iowa a couple of weeks ago. This is more or less, I guess you could say, the sister track. Iowa, just about 1/10 of a mile longer than what Richmond is. And everybody's watched races at Richmond. Everybody knows about all the crazy stuff that's happened. You know, Dale Earnhardt turning Darrell Waltrip on what was the backstretch at one point. You know, when he turned him back there, a lot of fans probably remember the whole Clint Boyer, Michael Waltrip racing controversy, where all of that happened here at Richmond. And most of the newer fans, they probably remember what happened this past Sunday when Austin Dillon took out 2 drivers to try to win it. And then, obviously, he gets penalized. But anyway, that's beside the point on that, Eddie. Great little short track right here. Up in Virginia. I would love to go see this race in person. Beautiful, beautiful racetrack. And short track racing, baby. We love it.
Yeah, they called it the Pontiac Excitement race back in the day, and that's because it had all the excitement. I mean, think about, Jeff Gordon, Rusty Wallace made contact. Kyle Busch, Dale Earnhardt Jr. always had some beef here. So Richmond, while, here lately it's been sort of been a tough one I tell you, it has got some really rich history, and I think tonight's going to show exactly what Richmond can do. So, but we're getting ready to grid up, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. We got a lot of drivers we need to get through, so let's jump right in, and let's see who start on the front row here tonight. Alex Coffey, he snuck in there. He had a really good lap time in practice and was one of the only ones who backed it up with that 22.072. Shane Parrish there on the outside of the front row. Row number 2 is going to be Tim Wortman Jr. still waiting on that elusive win. It's been over 90 races, I think, now since he has won a race. He would love to get up there and get that done. Jeffrey Taylor, we talked about him before the race. Stuck up there, having himself some really good string of races, and what a great way to continue that with a 4th place start. Starting in 5th, Brandon Fetter place. Barry Sanders in 6th. In 7th, going to be Matt Cox, Springs winner here at Richmond. Going to start in 7th, Hunter Carmichael there in 8th. 9th is going to be Brandon Bikey. He finished right behind Matt Cox by 0.1 seconds, a tenth of a second, if you will, in the spring race. And Justin Belmont in 10th.
And then Blaine Wilson's going to roll off P11 with Ryan Huff making up on the outside of row number 6 in P12. Ward Young and Nigel Christensen, they're going to be 13th and 14th. Paul Gallimore, he's already got a win on the season. He ain't got nothing to worry about. He's just going to try to survive just like the rest of them tonight, starting off in P15 with Nick King to his outside in the number 24, starting in P16. Caden Norfree and Chris Davis, 17th and 18th. And rounding out the top 20, your pole sitter, I should say, your point leader. Randy Mullins back there 19th, and Jamison Middlemas rounds out the top 20.
In 21st, Matthew Campbell with Darren Mills. And it looks like we're going to go green this time by Jordan Schmeech, Chris Spear, Aaron Matthews, Nicholas Atwood, 26th. 27th is Johnny Shade, Matt Mackin. And rounding out your field in 29th, oh, we are going to keep going good. I saw the lights out on the pace car, and I thought, oh, God, we got to go. Jared Clark going to round out the field here in 29th. And honestly, a low car count field for Moonshiners. That's actually really surprising. And that's funny to say. I don't mean it in a bad way. It's kind of awesome that they have races here where a low car count is 30 drivers. So let's jump right into the race analysis here. 250 laps, 6 tire sets total for the race. 1 green, white checker attempt as always. 100% fuel load open setups. And the stages are at laps 75, 150. If you're locked in the playoffs or if you're trying to get into the playoffs, those stage points could mean a ton. So getting ready to go green here is the pace car going to pull them through 3 and 4. 250 laps here at Richmond Raceway. The sun's going to set, and we're going to see who's going to come away with the victory. Pace car is off, and green flag is out here in the OB Builders Cup Series, the Ram 250.
Coffey's going to see if he can try to slide up, maybe cut off the advance of Shane Parrish. Parrish has no way, and he is not wanting to try to back down, but he's going to have to. Almost slaps the fence. Here comes TWJ, Tim Wortman Jr. to the inside, and Jeffrey Taylor up here on this outside working with Brandon Fetterplace. Very, very clean so far on this very first lap right here, Eddie. Coffey's trying to set sail.
Yeah, getting out front here early I think is really, really important, and we'll see both these lines work throughout the race. It'll be interesting to see as the sun goes down just how that changes, who's willing to jump up there. Obviously, the top side, very difficult on the tires. It can really heat up those right sides, but it can be a great way to make passes if you're not able to get down to the inside, which Shane Parrish is going to do, right down to the inside. And right now, the tires are as cold as they are. That bottom line is really good, but Matt Cox gets loose on the back straightaway. No caution as of yet. We stay green, but the winner from the spring race goes around here on lap 3.
Shane Parrish still up here side by side with Coffey. Coffey going to see if he can try to pinch him down on that yellow line. Parrish trying to get clear, and he is. New leader, the 66, Shane Parrish, is going to slide right past Alex Coffey. TWJ, Tim Wortman Jr. following suit with Brandon Fetterplace and Brandon Bikey rolling right now in the top 5. But Shane Parrish, I'll say this, Coffey made him work for it, and now Parrish is going to try to see if he can make Coffey work for it. Here comes Coffey back to the inside with the lead.
They got 250 laps in this race, and look how hard they're racing here on lap 5. They know that track position just all too important. Coffee doesn't want to give it up, but Shane Parrish now fighting hard on the outside as the tires start to get hotter. That outside line becomes way more valuable. You're able to keep the run off the corner. The bottom car wants to use the whole racetrack by kind of opening the wheel up on exit, and you can see Coffee not quite able to get the rotation that he needs. He does get a good run through 3 and 4, but you see the run that Shane Parrish is going to get down the front straightaway.
Yeah, both of them actually door bang going into turn 3 right there, but Coffee's still trying to keep it on the bottom. Parrish doing all he can to try to pinch him down. Coffee's got to be careful. Almost door banged again coming off of turn 2. Coffee really wants the lead, and I think Parrish might have said, okay, we got 250 laps. Let's go ahead and just let him go, or maybe he'll try to move him. Kind of shades of the Austin Dillon kind of deal right there going into 3. That was very exciting. But Coffee is going to take back the lead. Parrish is going to hold down second. Both of them may end up trying to see if they can gap themselves to TWJ, or that being Tim Workman Jr., Brandon Fetterplace, and Brandon Bikey, and try to settle it between Coffee and Parrish themselves.
Yeah, I know. I feel like Tim Wortman was probably sitting there looking, going, hey, guys, yeah, y'all keep on doing this. I'm just going to ride back here, save a little bit of tire if I can, and try to get you guys once you guys have burned it up. But I'm going to tell you right now who we need to be watching out for is second-place finisher in the spring, Brandon Bikey. Obviously a championship contender. When you talk about maybe a handful, you got to put 5 drivers on one hand. Each finger representing a driver who's going to be fighting for a championship. And I'm going to tell you right now, Brandon Bikey better be on that list. But we still got a battle for the lead as now Shane Parrish back on the inside, but it gets loose. Oh, he almost overcorrects into Tim Wortman.
Woo! Hell of a save by Shane Parrish, but Tim Wortman Jr. is going to slide by. Here comes Bikey. He's going to have to get out of the gas. Better place, Debonair runs him over. Right behind him, you got Jeffrey Taylor back here with Barry Sanders, Blaine Wilson, Hunter Carmichael, and Warren Young. That's the top 10, but hell of a save by Shane Parrish. He could have wadded up the whole damn field right there going into turn 3, but everybody using patience, which is one thing, Eddie, we don't hear a lot of here on short tracks. Patience, tempers, all that literally goes out the window, but just for the moment, I think everybody's trying to show a lot of patience right now, knowing that this is a long race.
Yeah, and I like that you said that, because Brandon Bikey, while I think him and Shane Parrish actually race on the same team, Brandon actually cut him a break there when he was trying to get back in line. Brandon could have easily dove down in there, but he actually lifted for him, said, hey, go ahead and get back in line, cool those tires down. As you know, we've talked about it many a times, you get those rear tires angry, it takes a few laps before you can really feel confident to get back on the throttle. But look up front. We don't have time to talk about anything but the lead battle. It's Tim Wortman Jr. all over the back bumper of Alex Coffey. He is going to snap that winless streak come hell or high water. And tonight seems like it might be a great opportunity for him to do that. He started in third, up to second, and now putting pressure on Alex Coffey.
I'll say this, the redneck announcer is a big fan right now of TWJ. Tim Wortman Jr. still trying to break that winless streak. Eddie, we love to see stuff like that. That makes hellacious headlines, even for the door banging download on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, my podcast. And I guarantee you, if Tim Wortman Jr. can win this race, it's going to break headlines big time. And he wants to try to be able to get that. Maybe not for the podcast, but obviously he wants that win. He knows that he can get up there and have a shot at it. It's still a long way to go. But TWJ qualified third, sitting in second, right behind Coffey. Almost turned him a while ago, just trying to just check up and not run him over a while ago. So TWJ has a very, very fast hot rod in that number 83.
Yeah, he seems to really have the speed through the center. Alex Coffey is definitely extremely fast. And one thing I am seeing, Jake, is I'm seeing a lot of different lines. I'm seeing guys enter in high in 1 and 2, and some guys like Shane Parrish, if you look right there, he's diving right down to the bottom. He's driving straight down to that yellow line. That's the line that I like to take. And then you see Brandon Bikey behind him actually going in a little bit higher and arcing, cutting the exit of turn 2, which does allow for you to get a good run. So these guys moving around, trying to find where their car is the fastest. And, right now, and we'll see, I think, in the next 20 laps or so who's got the fastest. But, man, look at Shane Parrish. Just an odd line, but, man, he is making it work, huh?
Yeah, I mean, he's really making it work. He's starting to actually close up on Coffey and TWJ. Tim Wortman Jr., that is. There you see the beast mode. got the 7 rig with the PVC pipes, the flame. Hell, he's got it all right there. Shane Parrish, the number 66, has all of that. And Eddie, one thing you was talking about, how Parrish wanting to wrap that line, Bikey trying to arc the corner. You're probably also, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see some guys try to diamond the corner, which is driving it on the bottom, letting it slide up a little bit, and then gassing it up and then taking off on the bottom of the racetrack. I wouldn't be surprised to see that at all at this point, because we've already seen them literally run damn near everywhere. There you see Brandon Bikey back there. He just said, screw it, we're just going to go ahead and try to enter in the middle and then take it down on the bottom. Numerous ways that you can run here at Richmond, but it's like you said, whatever's working out for you, whatever's working out for the car, and whatever's putting down fast lap times, that's what you need to do.
Yeah, and if you're new to oval racing, or if you're just not sure about iRacing, it's all about tire heat here. You do whatever you can to make sure that you put the heat in the right tire, whatever it is that you want the car to feel like. You got to make sure that you're taking care. If you're this track right here, you want to take care of the right rear for sure. The rear tires, you do not want to be spinning those off of the turns. If you do that too often, you get a little bit loose like Shane Parrish did. At the end of these runs, I'm telling you, coming off of turn 4 can be so disastrous. You'll be spinning the tires all the way down the straightaway. We'll take a look at the weather and see. It also depends on the track temp. And right now it's 88 degrees and it should only get cooler. So that shouldn't be too much of a factor. But you still want to be careful. You don't want to abuse the tires. You can be fast. A lot of people think saving tires is just, hey, I'm going to go slow and let everybody go fast. No. Saving tires is just managing them better than everybody else. You still have to run fast. You still have to run hard. You just have to do things like don't turn your steering wheel more than 45 degrees. If you're turning more than that, you're probably burning the right rear up. If you come off the corner, you're giving it a little bit too much gas, you're burning the rears up. So you got to be careful about how you run these cars. And I'm going to be honest, here at Richmond, it's actually pretty easy to save the tires. You drive that joker down in there, stay right around that yellow line, gas it up, give it about half throttle on exit, come off the corner, then matter all the way down, let her eat. And that's a good way to get around here without messing those tires up.
Absolutely. One of the best in a next-gen car right there, Eddie Smith, basically just describing all of that because, I mean, Eddie, you would describe it 10 times better than I could because usually I'm better off in a truck than I am in one of these next-gen cars. But I will say this. I've noticed this even with next-gens, Xfinity, truck, however you want to look at it. You're talking about drivers spinning the rear tires coming off of turn 4. Yes, that is very possible for them to get loose, slide around. Right here going through turn 2. This is one of those tricky corners. You're going to see a lot of guys. Some of them have already got loose, spun around as we actually got a caution. I'll get back to that analysis here in a minute, but we got a caution on the speedway. Big pile up right here. Looks like that's Matt Cox.
Oh, right in front of the leaders as he spins around. That was almost disastrous. Yeah, Johnny Shade, Matt Cox brings out the caution. Let's take a look at it real quick here on the replay. See what happened between these two. Matt, he spun earlier in the race. And we'll see, driving really tight here. This is a battle for around the 20s. Oh, just all kinds of stuff going on back here. I don't know what's going on. Matt Cox just drives it in there, the 3 wide, and it looks like, honestly, it looks like Johnny Shea kind of loses it on entry, entering in a little bit too high, and they both make a little bit of contact.
Well, Eddie, basically what we down south would call this right here going into turn 2, this is just a straight up cluster is what you're going to see right here. Cox is down here on the bottom of the racetrack. You got Nicholas Atwood up there in the 19. One driver has to check up. Just caused a huge stack up. How about that hot tour right there on the back bumper? But here comes Cox, slides in. Yeah, I think Cox might have just overdrove the corner right there, just trying to get away from all the cluster. And then when he overdrove it, Johnny Shade was right there, and he overdrove it and got him in the left rear and ended up sending him around right there. And then, and then that's when it really got good right there, spinning it around right back in front of the field.
Yeah, that was a close one. I couldn't really tell if Shade had gotten loose, but yeah, I think Cox kind of got in there, maybe a little bit of net code. I'm not sure. It was just the slightest touches, but here at Richmond, it does not take much. So a few people have gone down pit road. I'm actually surprised to see that here on lap 28. 6 tires. Set the tires, so we'll see if that makes a huge difference. Barry Sanders, one of those drivers who went down pit road under this caution, He gonna come back out. He was running close to the top 5. Gonna come back out in 16th. So he's gonna drop down the running order here. Now, unlike real NASCAR, we don't have hard and soft tires. We got the one set, so he's gonna have to make use of those. He's gonna have about 45 laps to make up a ton of time. I don't know. We're gonna find out. We get the best part. We get to watch it. What do you think about that call to come down and take 4 tires here? With just 45 laps in this stage.
Well, I mean, I kind of like it, for Barry to be able to try to make that call right there. I mean, granted, it's like you said, I mean, you got 6 sets of tires. That's 5 in the pits, 1 on the car. Now he's already down a set, obviously, going down and making that pit stop. I like this call, to be honest with you, because Barry, he's going to have a lot more fresher tires than some of these guys. But granted, he is going to be mired big time back there in the field, sitting in the 16th spot. So he's got to pick them off. I mean, he's got to pick them off and put them down real freaking fast if he wants to have a shot at trying to get up here and get a hold of maybe Alex Coffey or even TWJ. He'll make it back to the top 10. It's just the fact of how fast is he going to be able to make it back. And Eddie, one thing I was talking about before that caution come out, you were talking about turn 4, how the rear tires, how they're spinning the rear tires. Some of them is getting loose coming off of 4. Turn 2 is very, very crazy because we've seen guys get loose and spin as well coming off of 2. A lot of guys can actually get tight coming off of 2 because, I mean, our racing, and how the broadcast is and everything, as we are at 1 to green. Coming off of 2, it's hard to see it when you're broadcasting or when you're watching it from the TV angles. But if you're actually riding on board, you can tell there's a hump, folks, right there over that turn 2 area. And it can just straight out drive you all the way to the damn wall. And you can get so tight where you can just, literally like a damn snowplow, you can just drive it straight up into the wall. So very, very unique characteristics here with turn 4 and turn 2.
All right, getting ready to go green. Alex Coffey, Tim Wortman Jr. going to be on your front row. Green flag is out as Alex Coffey gets a fantastic start there on the bottom line, and he is going to clear for the lead.
I wouldn't watch out. I would still watch Shane Parrish right here because Shane knows how to get it done. Shane had a couple of shots, got up there and led him a couple of laps. He may have something to say about this whole deal right here at the end of stage number 1. TWJ was able to get clear. He jumps down in front of Brandon Fetterplace. Brandon Backey right behind them. Jeffrey Taylor, one of those guys just up above that bubble line in the 23, just trying to make sure that he can get out of here and survive. But Coffey, he's got Parrish all over his back bumper. Here comes Parrish with a run going into 3.
Barely. Oh, my goodness. As Alex Coffey just squeezes just enough. Actually gets a little bit loose off of 4. That's definitely going to open it up. Coffey going to block. Woo! Right down to the inside goes Shane Parrish. And look at Wortman around the outside trying to find a little space.
I'll say this, you really don't want to be trying that blocking stuff this early on in the race. 34 laps to 250 laps. Obviously, clean air is going to be king, but you don't want to be putting no crazy blocks like that, especially with this much race left over right here. Parrish could have just straight up gassed up and straight up turned him right there, but Parrish cut him a break. Coffey tries to put the block on him one more time. Parrish may send his ass right here, so Coffey needs to be very, very careful what he's doing with Parrish right behind him.
Well, oval racing has a lot of unwritten rules, and I tell you, one of them is block me once, fine. Hey, you made the first block, and you did a good job there. I'm going to live for this one. The second block, if you're a good guy, you might give him the second block, but that third block, I promise you ain't going to get the third one because he's going to lay the bumper. God put bumpers on these cars for a reason. And if you block, you're showing intent that you're willing to go the distance, and we'll see how far you can go. And you see this time, Shane goes right down to the inside. Coffey, no contest there. He's going to fight on the outside, though. Shane trying to get the lead. These two want the win, and they're battling like hell in this first stage.
Yeah, they're literally battling like it's literally like it's lap 245 right here with 5 laps to go. Doorbanging coming off of turn 4. Parrish down on the inside. About Backey back there. Brandon Backey trying to sneak it down to the inside of TWJ. But we're going to stay with this. Look how hard they're racing. Parrish damn near wrecked the car right there, but he was able to save it. Almost put Coffey in the wall. So Coffee, obviously, with that block, Parrish is trying to race him as clean as he possibly can. Coffee, if let's just say Coffee does come down and he puts the block like he did a while ago at the start-finish line, Parrish is not going to be so nice the next time around. He may end up throttling up and throwing him into the fence, but Parrish is trying to stay off of that 15 of Alex Coffee as much as he can.
Yeah, that entry into 1 is sort of going to be Alex Coffey's Achilles heel because Shane is entering in like that every single time, and it does give him a little nose ahead. And I like the line. Shane is just driving his line, and that when Alex opens it up like that, that just opens a door for the 66 to put, kind of roll it through the center right under him. And so it's such a good line for Shane. Is he going to give him a little bit of bump off before, letting him know I'm there, going to drop down to the inside, and going to continue to battle for the lead as Brandon Bikey has been able to get around the 83 and now takes over the 3rd spot. But, man, look at this. Door banging side by side. These guys have been racing hard. This has been some of the best 40 laps I've seen here at Richmond. So much better than the spring race here as, Shane trying to do everything he can. Gassed it up a little bit too early there. Gets into the side of Coffee, and now he's under fire from Brandon Bikey.
Yeah, Brandon Brackey, you're going to see if he can try to ease right back by him. And both of these guys, mind you, are teammates. Obviously, we talked about it, BMP for that team right there. So Bikey may be seeing what's going on up there with Parrish. Obviously, all of them's talking in the Discord chat. It's TWJ. He's going to throw it up into the fence. Jordan Smeets, how about this right here? The number 4 started 23rd. He has worked his way up here into that top 5. The big run right here by Jordan Smeets to try to get something done. You already see a couple of guys throwing it up into the fence, and we got a caution on the speedway.
Nigel Christensen has gone around, and that brings out our second caution of the night here on lap 43. And let's go back and see what happened there as, man, hate to see these cautions. Looks like he gets a little bit loose off the corner, comes down the track right in front of Nick King, and goes for a little ride down the front straightaway. And we saw Matt Cox just completely sideways, backwards on the track earlier in the race. No caution, but that's right in front of the button pusher, so I guess that's why that one came out. I don't know, but under caution for Nigel Christensen. I'd pretty much call that sort of a self spin as he kind of comes down the track right in front of Nick King. But caution back out on the raceway. I would imagine we're going to see some pit stops, and we are. Here comes Brandon Bikey going to come down. Maybe some guys thinking about pitting now and trying to stay out during the stage and gain some track position. That's got to be the play here.
Yeah, I mean, now, honestly, that's got to be the play right there. And that could have got real interesting right there had that caution not come out, because obviously Brandon Bikey, Shane Parrish talked about it. They were teammates. Parrish might have sat there and probably maybe said, Bikey, go ahead and ease on. See what you can do right here. Maybe see if you can try to get a hold of Coffee and maybe slide him up out of the way. So, I mean, that could have got interesting right there if Bikey could have got around him with teammates working together. Try to see if they can knock down this 15 right here and maybe try to take the lead of this race. Matt Cox actually was a lap down at the time, so he's going to get the lucky dog and get back on the lead lap. But it's going to be a hell of a restart right here, Eddie, because we've already seen all the blocking. We've seen all the crazy moves. We've seen guys trying to be clean and everything. Stage points is going to be a premium. What are you going to do to get stage points? We've already seen what you can possibly do to win a race, but what are you going to do for stage points? That's going to be the key right here with Shane Parrish, Jordan Smeets up here, Jeffrey Taylor, all these guys up here needing some stage points. What are they going to do for these stage points?
Yeah, and I'm going to continue to talk about Tim Wortman. I mean, he's probably sitting there going, I wish y'all would shut up talking about me. Don't be cursing me, doing that broadcaster curse. But man, I think if you're Wortman, you see what the battle for the lead's like. I think he just needs to hang around in the top 5. Even in real life, if you can hang around the top 5 the whole race, you can get a win. Be there at the right time. He's been up in the top 5 in the top 3 pretty much all night. So he's got a fast piece. He's just got to stay there all night long. Don't get caught up in some weird pit strategy. Keep that fast number 83 machine. I think he's got a great chance to win tonight. 2 out front, they've been aggressive, and they definitely have the speed. But I just, if you're Tim, I feel like you're in a pretty good spot to try to finally break that winless streak. So looking to We'll see if he can get that done. And for those worried about the points leader, Randy Mullins, he is back here in the 14th position. The points leader, he has started in the 19th spot, has been able to move up. We know, though, that 54 is going to be up front for this thing is all said and done. So there's your little 54 Randy Mullins update. Jared Clark started in 29th. He's up to 13th, and he has made a pit stop. So we talked about those tires, whether or not that was going to be a good call, and Jordan Schmeets was one of those who took tires along with Barry Sanders. So we were wondering where Jordan Schmeets came from. Barry Sanders, hey, looks like maybe we were wrong. Maybe that pit strategy to come down pit and take tires about 20 laps ago was the right call, because Barry Sanders is back up in the 6th spot. Jordan Schmeets in 4th with those brand new tires.
Yeah, we'll see what happens right here on this restart. Like I said, Jordan Schmeets up here in 4th, or like you said, Jordan Schmeets up here, Barry Sanders, all these guys up here. Some of them fresh tires, some of them on the old tires from when they started the race. But here we go, Eddie. Pace car's off.
Pace car is off. Lap 48, coming to lap 49. Alex Coffey going to get a great jump and pulls away. Tim Wortman Jr. going to jump into the 2nd spot as he got a great jump along with Alex Coffey. Shane Parrish, so all over the back bumper. He is not going to sit around for very long. He knows he's got race-winning speed. Here comes Tim Wortman with a great run off of 2. Alex Coffey did not get a great exit, and the 83 goes down to the bottom. Oh, and caution back out. Matt Cox.
Back out. Matt Cox, once again, this is not what Matt Cox wanted to have here this evening. Got loose earlier, and now looks like the whole front bumper, I believe I saw, something fall off of that damn car right there. But you see him right here, just send it right here on the top. Try to see if he can just make anything stick right here. Comes off turn number 2. And, there's just a little bit of action going on up there in front of him. He just tries to miss it, and then bam, head on into the wall goes Matt Cox. Looked like that was Nigel Christensen up there in the 17. A little bit sideways right there coming off turn 2, and that just kind of stacked everything right back up. But, yeah, I mean, wow, Christian just kind of loses it right there. Literally, there was a little bit of door banging right there between him and I believe that was the 81, I believe it was. But still, Christensen kind of gets there, and then Cox is just trying to miss him. And I guess you could say a very, very mini all hell breaking loose right there going into turn 3.
Yeah, he's just struggling for grip there. We saw him kind of get in a 3-wide situation. Got a little nervous there on the exit, trying to keep it off of, I can't remember who that was that he was underneath, but not able to do it. Yeah, Matt Campbell. So what was just trying to keep it off of him, gets a little bit loose, and Ryan Huff, sort of just a innocent bystander, Matt Cox, like you said, just kind of spun out. So the 17 just not having a good start to this race. The car just not handling the way he wants it to. So maybe get a little bit of damage fixed, get back out there, maybe some new tires, and try to get this thing going. But the last winner here at Richmond not having a great start. He's been on pit road. He's been a lap down. He's been involved in 3 wrecks, I think. 2 of them not really of his doing. And he is not having a great start to this race. We'll see if he can get back on the horse, get this thing pointed in the right direction.
Well, we'll see what happens. I mean, obviously, I guess you can say Cox was the favorite coming into tonight. I mean, if you look at the practice times, Matt Cox was the only one here in virtual Richmond, Virginia, to hit anything lower than a 22. He hit a 21.9 in practice, and nobody's even got close to, well, scratch that. Yeah, they have. Coffey and Mullins, both of them that ran 22.0s previously already so far this evening. So, but Matt Cox, obviously, this is not the night that he wanted. One here at Richmond back in the spring, so he ain't got nothing to worry about. I mean, he's just kind of throwing caution to the wind right here. But still, you want to try to have a good showing. You always hear about those sweeps, Eddie. You always hear about the sweeps of wanting to sweep a particular track during a season. So obviously, I'm sure Cox probably had that in his mind. But, I mean, this thing ain't over. I mean, not by a long shot. This is lap 52 of 250. We still got 200 laps left in this thing. He's still on the lead lap, and he's back there in 25th. Hell, anything can happen right here. I mean, he's still got a shot, but it just has not started off good for him.
Yeah, no fast repairs in this series, so you want to make sure that you can keep that car, at least halfway in shape. I don't think aero is super important. It is still important. You want to keep those bumpers and stuff intact, but if you keep the toe and keep the front tires pointed the right way, that's usually good enough at a track like this. So we'll see if he can get back in, and we know he can. He's only in 25th. He's got the speed. Just going to have to take a little bit of time, find a little bit of that patience and some luck to get back up to the front. But Tim Wortman was able to get that second spot on the restart, but this time Shane Parrish going to be on the back bumper of Alex Coffey to get ready to go green here with just 20 laps to go in this stage. Coffey with another great restart brings Shane Parrish along with him.
Boy, that outside lane is like a disadvantage here on these restarts. Shane Parrish is going to get clear, all clear. Ooh. He's going to go to 2. Ooh. TWJ trying to get a run. He's going to dive down to the inside. Now Parrish is going to be up top. He's going to try to go around Coffey. So much happening going through turn 3, and Coffey's still trying to hold on to the lead. Parrish is going to try to side draft. Even on the short track in these next-gen cars, you can side draft or door bank. Coffey's going to send Parrish up the hill. TWJ trying to go for the leadoff too.
Oh, Shane Parrish hard into the outside wall. He's still trying to keep it going. Shane Parrish all over the back bumper of Alex Coffey. I mean, he had got him out of shape multiple times, and just kind of they entered in opposite of what they normally have, where Shane tried to go in on the outside, and Alex has that sort of wide entry into one, and I think maybe Shane felt like he was trying to push him out of the groove and started making even more contact. So maybe some issues, some beef that we're not aware of, but caution, back out on the speedway, and Nick King this time is turned backwards on the top of the track.
Some more beef out here.
yeah. I would imagine 16 cautions last race here in the spring. It started off really well, but I'm starting to think it's going to continue to trend that direction. Let's see if we can go back and find out what happened to Mr. Nick King here.
Well, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I mean, you're going to see this right here off of turn 2, and really it's going to be Matt Mackett right there in that 0-1. He's going to be Austin Dillon. Nick King's going to be Diddy Hamlin. Just a straight up right rear hook. Straight up into the wall. King head on into the wall. Mackin back there as well. I think Mackin probably lost his front bumper right there. You saw it fly across right there. But, I mean, I was thinking, maybe it was just Mackin that got loose coming off of 2. And maybe come down and right rear hook him. But hell, they're still on the straightaway. I don't know. Hell, he might have got up in on the fence a little bit. It's too hard to tell right there. But at the same time, you got a guy down there on the inside. And after all the craziness, all the controversy, all the chaos that we've heard about guys getting right rear hooked throughout this week, oddly enough, we see one right here on lap 57 of the race. So I probably wouldn't have done that. If I got up on the wall, I would have just backed out of it, and I would have just tried to let him go. I mean, Atwood was back there. Atwood would have probably ran him over either. So another cluster, I guess you could say, Eddie. There's been a lot of them here this evening.
Yeah, not really anything Nick King could do there. I think Matt, I don't know what it is about folks on iRacing. A lot of times, man, it's just like I don't know. You ever been standing in a line or standing in an elevator and somebody just kind of leans into you, just weird, like just gets in your space, and you're kind of like, what are you doing? I don't know if on iRacing it's the same way, man. Like it just seems like you'll be going straight and you'll be side by side with somebody, and for some reason they find safety in running into the side of your car versus the wall. And so it looks like that may be what happened to Matt. He was just like, oh, there's a wall there. Let me just go lean on this car. And when he did, it was all she wrote for Nick. So not much Nick could do there. I think Matt just kind of was trying to stay out of the wall and just kind of leaned over into him. And on iRacing, man, you make that slight little bit of contact and you're going to go around. So just hard side-by-side racing here. I mean, we've seen it up front, so you know it's happening in the mid-pack. I mean, that's where all the mess is, if you will. So you know if we're racing like we are up front, it's definitely going on in the back.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a big deal right there out of this, because usually the guy that gets right rear hooked is usually in some deep trouble. But Nick King, he's not. Matt Mackin had to go one lap down right there. Matter of fact, I think he might have went 2 laps down right there, because he probably had to let everybody go. He probably wasn't able to beat him off pit road. So Matt Mackin, the one that actually initiated it, he's not going to get away scot-free. So for all of you out there that's got right rear hooked or got screwed over in the past, redemption right there for you, I guess. Green flag coming up.
Green flag, Alex Coffey with another great restart. And I'll tell you what, Shane Parrish did not have a great one. Tim Wortman is going to bring Jordan Schmeetz along with him, and boy, it's going to get wild up here. I wonder if that 66 doesn't have some major damage on that right side from that contact with the wall. And he does not look as good. It looks like he is really pushing from entry to the middle. So we'll see if that's really the case. But he definitely did not have a great jump, as now he is fighting with Jordan Schmeetz, who's on those fresh tires. And look who's behind him, Barry Sanders, trying to get some stage points here with just a little bit over 10 laps to go in this stage. And it's getting feisty up here. Shane Parrish. Car looks pretty good there, Jake.
Yeah, looks like it's going to be okay down on the inside. TWJ is going to slide up. He's going to tap the wall. Here comes Jordan Schmeetz down on the inside. Which way is Barry Sanders going to go? Is he going to go with TWJ or is he going to go with Schmeetz? Hell, he can't even figure it out. Hell, I can't even figure it out for him. But Schmeetz is going to keep it on that side. Now Sanders is going to try to take it to the top side. Up front, Coffey still trying to get away from Parrish. TWJ still fighting off right now. Jordan Schmeetz for that third spot. Like you said, 10 laps to go. Coming around this time, 10 laps to go to complete stage number 1. It's going to get feisty. Like you said, Eddie, really, really feisty for these stage points right here.
Yeah, Shane Parrish still looks like he has got a fantastic car. It may have a little bit of damage on it, but he's still able to run Coffey right back down and get right on his back bumper. So I'm telling you what, that 66 is got a piece on him here tonight, as he is still trying to figure out a way, though, to get around that 15, who also seems to have what it takes to get the victory. But the battle really is, if you need two eyeballs, you need one eyeball going one way, one eyeball going the other way to find all the battles. Because right now we got a battle for the lead. Still there is, Shane Parrish gets right to the back bumper of Coffey. They've been bumping and banging here in the last few laps. We'll see if that continues. Shane just trying to figure out a way to get around him through 3 and 4. And you can see middle exit, man, Shane has a lot of drive off. And here this entry that he's been doing all night. You can hear the shifting, of course. That time, Alex Coffey has a pretty good run through the middle of the corner, able to maintain that gap. But, man, Shane Parrish all over him.
Yeah, he is straight up all over him. And obviously, Eddie, for those of you that may be just tuning in, if you are, where the hell have you been? But check this out right here. Parrish tried to send it down to the inside way earlier on right here in stage number 1. Coffey jumped down, tried to put the block. Parrish almost spun him out. That may come into a factor right here. Parrish may want to try to get that stage win. Coffey jumps down in front of him, blocks him again. Is Parrish going to let him go? Obviously, neither one of them teammates right here. So this could get really, really feisty. How about Jordan Schmeetz? We hadn't talked a lot about him. Like I said, 23rd up to 3rd. He may play spoiler for both of these guys because he's closing it big time right now on Shane Parrish.
Yeah, I'm going to take back what I said. I think the damage to that right side is affecting Shane Parrish. As the tires get up to temp and start to get a little hot, he seems to not have the turn that he was having before. Alex Coffey has been actually kicking his butt on exit, which I think when Shane is trying to make up for that right front damage, he's using more throttle, which actually hurts the right front more, but he's trying to get the car to rotate like it wants to. That right front damage, I think, is pushing him on exit. He's running a little bit wide. So I think the damage is affecting the 66 a little bit. And I think Jordan Schmeetz is getting ready to pounce. As look, Barry Sanders has been able to get clear. And Aaron Matthews, somebody we haven't mentioned at all, is up here. He's under fire from Brandon Bykue, has made his way back up to the front. So, I mean, we got 3 laps to go in the stage. There's a lot of players in this game at the moment.
And Eddie, it's like I said right there with pre-race, this could be a wild card race. Could see some drivers that we don't usually talk about up here at the front. May have some short track aces here in the OB Brothers Cup Series for the Moonshiners Racing League. May have some out there. Looking like there might be some of them out here. Jordan Schmeetz, Aaron Matthews, these guys up here content. Or maybe, well, I shouldn't say content, but they're up here with a shot to try to get them a stage win. Jordan Schmeetz really putting pressure on Shane Parrish. Parrish, he's got to watch himself right here. Schmeetz has got a hell of a run. He may end up getting a hold of him right here. Even though they are teammates, Schmeets, obviously, he wants to try to get all he can get. He's going to try to get it around the outside. Last lap right here for stage 1.
Yeah, Shane Parrish actually just lets him go, says go ahead and have it. They'll cross the line. Once they cross the line, the top 10 have to cross it to get it. And you can see Shane Parrish like, I got to back out of this thing. And so he's going to fall back to 4th, maybe 5th. Coming off the corner, though, Alex Coffey going to cross the line. 10 cars have to cross. And that should do it. Stage for Alex Coffey. Stage 1 is in the books. And Alex Coffey is going to be your stage winner. And he's led 72 out of 75 laps. He has been dominant since getting out front. But he's going to get all those stage points. He's going to get that stage win. And what a great drive by him. Great battle between him and Shane Parrish. But Alex able to be as consistent as possible to keep that lead. And he gets that win.
Absolutely. Congratulations, Alex Coffey. Like you said, 72 now 73, 77 laps. Just absolutely putting on a clinic. I'll say this. I can sit there and say that he's putting on a clinic all day long, Eddie. But like you said, Shane Parrish did not make it easy for him. Parrish put a lot of pressure on him. Could have turned him a couple times. Could have threw him up into the fence. Just how hard they was racing earlier on. Here in stage number 1. So, Coffey, I don't know if he's lucky or fast. I guess you could probably say he's probably both of them.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Well, he'll go down and get a little bit of damage fixed. And honestly, Alex and Shane did a great job because they had 4 tires. The guys with 20, 25 lap fresher tires all around them there at the end of that stage. And so for them and Tim Wortman Jr., those guys able to, keep their position, and not let those 4 tires kind of eat them up. And now they have an extra set if they need it. So while I think that did work out for Jordan Schmeets, obviously he started way in the back of the pack. Barry Sanders, I'm not real sure if that worked out the way he wanted it to. I don't know. I'm not quite sure. I think for Barry, he's probably a little disappointed that he burned a set for that. But maybe Jordan feels a little bit different considering how far back he was to start with. So we'll see. I think normally these guys don't run out of sets. I've only seen a few times that's happened in this series so far. So might as well burn one, see what it does. You never know, Jake. That you don't know how well 20 lap fresher tires makes a difference until you go out there and try it. So maybe that was a little bit of an experiment. See how it goes.
Yeah, you're right on that. Because, obviously these races very, very long. We talked about 250 laps. So you got plenty of time to, like you said, quote unquote, one of those big words that us rednecks we really don't use, which is experiment. Usually we just say we're going to try it out or we're just going to throw it on the wall, see if it sticks. Well, these guys, they have that opportunity to do that, to, like you said, burn, maybe a set of tires, see what it does for maybe later on in the race or, just any type of strategy, any way that you can do it to be able to get up there. But I'll say this, Barry Sanders, he wouldn't have done that if he didn't know that his car was fast. We'll just put it like that because Barry knows that car is fast. Obviously started up there in the 6th spot. And now he's sitting back in the 7th spot getting ready for this restart to start off stage 2. So Barry still got a shot at this thing right here. But I'll say this, I don't see him doing that again. So because he wants to make sure that he's got enough tires available to him right here. So one thing I would love to see though, Eddie, I would love to see a good, long green flag run just to see how this would stack up for some of these guys. It's going to be a hell of a restart here with Gallimore and Davis right here on the front row, though.
Yeah, I think that's a big story for this restart. Chris Davis been on track for 53 laps. He has pit for tires once. Gallimore also, he pitted 36 laps ago. I think both these drivers are going to be in trouble here on this restart, but I think they're just trying to save a set, try to keep that extra set and try to gain maybe a little bit of track position if they can settle in. But 53 laps is a long time on tires, so we'll see if they're able to maintain. But if you're Alex Coffey, if you're Jordan Schmeets, I think you got to be careful here on this restart. Don't try to be too aggressive and try to get it all at once. Here we go. Green flag is out. Chris Davis gets a great jump. Alex Coffey going to drive down to the inside of Paul Gallimore as they go down into turn one. We'll see what those tires are going to be. Give it a lap or so. I mean, it's already showing it's rearing its ugly head for Paul Gallimore, but give it a lap. Once these tires, these cold tires, get up to temp, I think these guys are going to be in trouble. We're going to find out, though, as Chris Davis out to an early lead.
I'll say this, looks like Shane Parrish might have knocked that dent out of the right side of that number 66. Looks like he's trying to motor his way to the inside. Jordan Smeets up top. Parrish tries to get clear. He's going to get clear. He's going to try to get a run. Maybe see if he can slide right by Paul Gallimore sitting up here in that third spot. Davis still has the lead. Coffey's still sitting in second, riding on board. And Shane Parrish just looking, maybe trying to dive it down to the inside. He's made that move numerous times, but he catches them sleeping each and every time. He caught Gallimore sleeping right there. Parrish to third. Now he's going to try to run down Alex Coffey and your leader, Chris Davis.
Yeah, that was an aggressive, not quite a dive bomb, but that was a pretty much, hey, I know I'm faster than you. Go ahead and give this position up. Just like what we're seeing right here. Alex Coffey, those tires now up to temperature. They get all the grip that they need. And Chris Davis is going to slowly bleed. We know Chris Davis can win races. Ooh, I think we got a caution out on the track. Blaine Wilson sitting backwards on the track. That 18 machine, we haven't talked about him tonight. And this is not the way he wanted to get brought up on the broadcast, as we have yet another caution here.
Yeah, and it happened right in front of him, actually. He's just kind of an innocent bystander. Justin Belmont, 6. Jeffrey Taylor up there at 23. Belmont, you're going to see it right there at the windshield of Blaine Wilson. Belmont just kind of just sends it in there. He tries to see if it will stick. And unfortunately, it does not stick. He slides up a little bit. Taylor might have come down a little bit, got into Belmont. Belmont tries to straighten it back out, tries to keep it straight. And then unfortunately, Blaine Wilson, absolutely nowhere for him to go. Hell, he gets tagged by Campbell right behind him and basically gets set right into him. So hard racing, guys. Maybe sending it, going a little bit too fast, maybe, or just trying something, I guess you could say. See, Blaine Wilson got no front bumper on the car, but that's just a racing accident, but you hate to see it for guys like Blaine Wilson, who was just an innocent bystander out of the whole deal. I mean, he had a wreck in front of him, and then he gets literally shoved straight into it, so you hate to see it for that 18.
Yeah, definitely hate to see it for him. I mean, he is not safe. And right now, he's going to be in big trouble. I mean, he is only 128 above the cutoff line. And that sounds like, well, that's probably, 4 races I'm above the cutoff. And, yeah, that sounds good. But, I mean, we got Daytona. We got Darlington coming up. Those are tracks that can eat you alive and really cut into those points leads. So, it's not great for him. He's going to have to stick it out, try to get that damage fixed, get back out there and maintain. But one person who that was involved in that is Justin Belmont in the 6. He is right there on the cutoff. He is in 16th. He's 29 points out. So I don't think he has the, he can't make a mistake. He can't get sideways like that. He kind of got lucky there that he didn't get a lot of damage, but he can't be making those type of mistakes if he plans on playoff racing. So if I'm Justin Belmont, I'm counting my lucky stars and go, you know what, I got one there. That's one of my 9 lives. I need to try to take it easy, try to stay out of trouble, because he's right there on that cutoff line.
Damn right. I mean, obviously, might have burned one of them 9 lives and just try to make it all the way to the playoffs. And then that way, maybe you can have 8 lives and maybe you can make it all the way to the championship 4. So, I mean, bailed him out right there. He needs to be very, very careful, obviously. And granted, this is a short track, very, or not necessarily aero dependent, quote unquote, but I mean, aero will play a little bit of a factor even though it is a short track. So with that little bit of damage, probably went in there, got a couple dings knocked out of it, but how's that car going to react with that 6? We already saw Shane Parrish with a little bit of damage that he had on the right side. He's still looking pretty fast right there. We'll see what happens with Belmont. He started 10th and now he's down to 21st, but this is going to be a hell of a restart right here. Parrish and Coffey, they're going to be on the inside. We've seen how they've been battling so far.
Coffey on the outside this time. He chooses that outside line. Going to pull Paul Gallimore along with him and actually keeping Shane Parrish boxed in behind Chris Davis. I like that move. That's a big brain move. Going to put his competition behind the older tires. How about that, Jake?
How about that right there? That is how you do it right there. Coffee trying to sneak out of here and try to get him some right there. You got Davis and Gallimore right there on the old shoes, basically holding everybody up. Parrish on the inside almost gets into Davis. Here comes Bikey on the outside. I mean, hell, Parrish maybe ended up trying to stick it 3 wide, but he thinks different of it. These guys are just straight up holding these guys up as Gallimore almost takes himself out off of Davis, and we got a spinner back in the back.
Justin Belmont, a half spin.
Oh, no.
Yeah, just talking about it. Got to be careful if you're Belmont. You can't afford these type of things. He doesn't hit anything. We saw that spin at the top of your screen while it was happening. But Justin Belmont, again, going to go around. We'll see if we can find out what happened. You got Chris Spear behind him. Go down to the corner. Oh, a little bit of extracurricular activity as Justin Clark makes contact. And as everybody's trying to check up, Justin Belmont gasses it up, gets into the side of, I can't see who that was, but I think it was Matthew Campbell again. So contact with Matthew Campbell and Justin Belmont going to go around. So, and you can see a little bit of extracurricular stuff going on there. So guys are not happy. Short track stuff is, let's go back and see. You can see the 16 getting a little contact. That's Jamison Middle miss from Jared Clark. Not happy about that. Let's go back and see if we can see that one more time. What happened?
May have a little bit of beef out there on the track, Eddie. We
Man,
obviously
he drove right into him.
You see Middle miss right there. Yeah, drives it straight up into Clark. And then, I mean, there you see Campbell just come straight down into Belmont. But, I mean, damn, I mean, these guys driving it in there, trying to make it stick. I got some comments, obviously, for Jared Clark on what I want to say right here, but I'm going to try to keep
that
it
was a hawk
PG.
tuh if I've ever seen one.
That's what I was going to say. I mean, if he's going to send it in there, he better – never mind. I'm not even going to go there. I don't want to get us canceled. But anyway, I mean, damn. I mean, ease up a little bit. Don't be sending it in there too much. But maybe he locked the brakes up. He had a guy on his outside. Both of them was racing. He probably lost focus and drove it straight up into
he might have thought that was Joey Logano. He thought, man, that's Joey Logano. I got to get him for 5 cars back.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, that could be it. I mean, that could be it. But obviously, we saw a little bit of that door banging right there at the end. So obviously, tempers starting to flare right here. With just give or take about 20 laps, give or take, before we get to the halfway point of this race.
Yeah, I see some people in chat. We don't do a good. I don't do a good job of talking about what's going on in chat. It's usually just a lot of let's go Randy Mullins, a lot of let's go 54s. It's in chat, which we appreciate all his fans out there. But short track racing on iRacing is tough, man. And when you've got a field that is close in skill. As these guys are. I mean, we've seen plenty of races where they are plenty skilled to race around each other. Short track, you put 30 plus cars on a short track. Martinsville is one of the worst ones. Unfortunately, it's frustrating. It is frustrating for those watching. It's frustrating for those guys on the track. And you can write as many paragraphs in Discord about how everybody needs to take 10 laps or calm down or take it easy. You can write all that. You can. In a perfect world, yeah, that's great. But, I mean, we're not pros. These guys are great, but they're still not pros. They're going to make mistakes. And at short tracks, those mistakes compound into big, big problems. And so I don't know if I've ever seen a place where you put 30-plus cars on the short track and it be just green flag from start to finish. And if you have, that is a diamond in the rough. It doesn't happen very often. So I know it's frustrating, but the short tracks – put on some really exciting racing, and we'd love to see go green all the way to the end from here. But sometimes there's a lot on the line here. These guys are gonna do the best they can, and sometimes they make mistakes and cautions come out. So it's a part of racing. That's a part of it. So.
Well, Eddie, I'll put it to you like this. Sorry to cut you off, Eddie, but I will put it to you like this. If they was perfect, they'd be making millions of dollars. They damn sure wouldn't be doing it on the sim, folks. We'll just go ahead and let you know. And even the best screw up. So nobody's perfect except for one person. That's the good Lord up above. So we'll see how this plays out. Pace cars off.
Well, so far, Alex Coffey has been perfect on these restarts. He's going to get another good one, but, man, Chris Davis got a great jump along with him. But Coffey definitely not going to let him get back out front. But I know Chris Davis would love to get out there He is waiting on his teammate, probably trying to hold everybody up, let that 54 get up to the front. They want to rent the Ram drivers. They would definitely love to win the Ram 250 here tonight. So Coffee, though, able to get out ahead. And we got one driver up into the dirt stuff. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Chris Spear was out of the groove. Looks like he's able to keep it going. But now Shane Parrish down to the inside. Chris Davis, just want to reiterate, he has 70 laps on this set of tires, so he is definitely struggling, but doing a great job so far. If this goes green, he'll be the one that'll hate it the most. The caution, though, is back out on the track. And Nigel Christensen again.
Oh, unfortunate right there to see for the 17. And Nigel Christensen probably got some help. Never know. Might have just drove in there, probably locked the brakes up. Oh, yeah, he got a little bit of help, him and Nick King. And Eddie, this one's going to be kind of weird right here because you're going to watch Nigel Christensen right here. When they come off of turn 2, everything's fine. They going into turn 3, Christensen just hangs a right. Where the hell's he going? He literally went right and literally drove himself straight over the front bumper of Nick King. And poor old Nick King, he's been through hell and back, this evening.
Good Lord, what is going on? Wait a minute. Wait, we got to back all the way up. I'm going to cut you off.
I didn't see that.
There's a lot going on. Johnny Shea bouncing into Chris Spear. That was that contact. I said Chris Spear was out in the marbles. Then the 16 and the 81 are still going after it. They're bumping and banging. Nigel Christensen just kind of up there in the middle of it. He's going to get behind the 16, and he's come off the corner. You're right. He's got to know that Nick King is there. And then, what is that? We just sat here and defended them for like a minute and a half about how these guys aren't pros and how cautions are going to happen. And then right there, that was a clown show of a restart. So I don't know. Maybe the chat guys knows what they're talking about. Maybe we're the dumb ones. I don't know.
I've been told that numerous times, obviously. My wife's told me the same thing, that I'm, sometimes I'm a DA. So, but there was just a lot of crazy stuff that was just happening right there. Guys getting very, very aggressive in a certain position when there's no need to be having aggression. Now, if you're up there battling for the lead, top 10, or, right there at the end of the stage, that's one thing, or even like Austin Dillon. We're going to bring that one up. Eddie, we're going to bring that up for years to come with the Austin Dillon, Joey Gunn, Denny Hamlin deal that happened here Sunday. But, just all that aggression that's going on back there at the back, and all it's doing is just killing green flag runs. And, hopefully they'll get everything straightened out. Everything will start getting lined up. But just so much aggression. it is a hard track to run because you were talking about it. The back tires spinning off of 2. I talked about getting tight coming off of 2, or actually the rear tires spinning off of 4 and getting tight off of 2. So it's not the easiest place, but like I said, I still don't know where the hell he was going. He was literally turning right, going into turn 3 when you need to be going to the left.
Hey, I tell you what, somebody in chat is exactly right. I went back and showed it while you were talking there. And his car definitely floated down the back straightaway. Yes. Shane Wyatt there giving us the goods. He is absolutely right. We were trying to figure out how in the hell did that happen, and that's exactly what happened. The car just floated on him as he kind of got on the throttle a little bit, coming off of 2, and the car just kind of gets a little wiggle, and that's exactly what happened. Then he just kind of floats right up into. He's already been around a couple times, may have a little bit of damage, so good call there by Shane Wyatt.
Yeah, I'm one of the best that I've probably seen drive in a next-gen car. Sorry, Eddie. Because, I talked about you was one of the best. Well, there's another one out there, Shane White. Glad to have him out there in the live chat chiming in, because I've seen Shane White driving these bad boys, and Shane White knows how to get around here in these next-gen cars as well. So glad to see Shane. Haven't talked to him in a long time. Maybe want to try to hit him up on Discord, but I haven't talked to Shane in a good while. Glad to see that he's out there.
Well, we're getting ready to go back green. Still about 150 laps in this race, and about 50 to go in this stage. So we'll see. Maybe we'll be changing our tune about the cautions once we get 4 hours into this race. I don't know. Alex Coffey, though, back green. Going to take over that top spot. Battling there. Chris Davis still holding strong there. the green flag laps, or caution flag laps, have been really nice to him as he's been able to hold that spot. Shane Parrish, so going to take over second now. Chris Davis battling side by side with Brandon Bikey.
And Bikey's still trying to get the run on the outside. Right behind him, Paul Gallimore, Jordan Schmeeds. They're back here battling for that fifth spot. Bikey trying to roll this top side, trying to see if he can slide Chris Davis back to the fourth spot. Bikey's going to get loose off two. He's going to stack them all up on the outside. They were looking 3 wide going into turn 3, but Bikey gets loose off two, stacked everybody up. Now Bikey's going to have to try to gas it back up, I guess you could say, and roll back up here. Try to get around Chris Davis. Davis going to keep it on the bottom. Bikey up top, Schmeets down to his inside. They're trying to keep it clean and green all the way to lap 125, which is when we will have.
Look back here, Randy Mullins.
Stage points. Check this out.
Randy Mullins going 3 wide between Paul Gallimore on those older tires and Barry Sanders. I think the 54 said, hey, I am tired of these old tires getting in my way. I'm going to go around him. Barry Sanders going to get loose, checks up everybody behind him, but the 54 is now clear.
Big time clear right there, and obviously the 54, Randy Mullins, literally, I talked about it, a couple of weeks ago, Eddie. He is the Chase Elliott of the OB Builders Cup Series. Got the fans out there, light it up out there on live chat. Hell, we see it all the time for Randy Mullins. He has worked himself up here. A couple of you out there, Michael Tucker, talking about that he can make it up in the top 5. Well, damn it, if he ain't right there at it, all he's got to do is get around Jordan Schmeets. Look at this 3 wide back here with Hunter Carmichael stuck in the middle. Gallimore thought about keeping it down there. TWJ up on the top side. I'll say this, Eddie, we talked about it. Up front, it's single file. Back here and, trying to get inside that top 10, get some stage points, it is straight up hell back here for these guys.
Yeah, Gallimore is sort of he's fighting hard. He's trying to keep that car going in the right direction, save those positions, but he's just been eaten alive by these tires as we get longer and longer in this run. 65 laps on these tires, and people are just going 3 wide on him. As man, he pulls up in front of I think it was Aaron Matthews. No, it was Brandon Fetterplace, and Fetterplace checks up. Here comes Matt Cox as man, they're battling all over the place. I can literally look. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna move my mouse around the grid, and I'm gonna click somewhere, and I bet we find a battle. Here we go. I'm gonna close my eyes, click. Boom, we got a battle. Number 3. Oh my God, we got a good battle as Carmichael gets a little bit loose, almost wrecks it. Gonna drive down into the corner, overdrive it, bounce off the 11, and keep going. But the 3, good-looking car, by the way, almost loses it there.
Yeah, I mean, awesome looking car right here. I've talked about it before with the paint schemes. Love to see them paint schemes if drivers express themselves. But I will say this, look back about 2 spots from where Hunter Carmichael is. Guess who's back there? It's Matt Cox in the 32. We saw all the hell that he went through, won the spring race. I talked about it when they were at lap 50, Eddie. Long race. Anything can happen. Matt Cox, he has drove himself back up here to almost inside the top 10. He's got to get around Gallimore, Matthews, Carmichael, all this craziness going on up here. Matt Cox could get him some stage points, and at one point, he didn't even think he was going to be probably finishing on the lead lap with just how the luck that he's had so far. Cox now has a shot to get some stage points and get a decent finish out here at Richmond.
Battle for 4th underway. Randy Mullins, we talked about it. He said he was back in 15th or so. I said he'll be back. He'll be up at the front before this thing's over with. And boy, he didn't even make it halfway, and he's already up here in the top 5. Just took 4th position away from Chris Davis, his teammate, and now setting his sights on the lead. And speaking of, Shane Parrish is still just constantly right on the back bumper of that 15. And I just wonder, I don't know. Shane has been so fast. I wonder if he can get around him, if he'd be able to pull away, but just hasn't been able to get it done. Coffee playing really good defense.
He really is, and Parrish just took a couple of shots. Honestly, Parrish literally Parrish could turn him at this point if he wanted to. Parrish is just trying to be as clean as he possibly can, but Eddie, when will that point get to where you have just basically said, you know what, screw it, I'm going to send it. I'm tired of sitting here riding behind him. Like I talked about, patience, all that. Parrish has got a lot of patience, and he is just wearing out Coffee's back bumper. Coffee just trying, I mean, he's probably trying to make him overdrive the damn corner. Just how tight he is up his back bumper. He may be trying to make Coffee drive out the mirror and then overdrive the corner, and then Parrish can just slide right by him and no harm, no foul, no problem. But Parrish, there you see right there the eyes, very focused right here with Shane Parrish, just zoned in right here trying to stay on this back bumper.
Yeah, I think your little scenario, I think whenever we see some white fabric, I think that's when it all goes out the window. If they're in still this position right here, I got to think that the 66 not going to have any problem sending Alex up the corner and try to go down to the inside. But Alex, I'll tell you what, man, he is a crafty driver. If you haven't learned that already, you can't really rattle the 15. I've raced with him multiple times, and while Shane is trying here to kind of, like you said, rattle him and get him thinking about it, Alex just is not really, he doesn't really respond to that. He is always focused, can keep his car together, and if you make contact with it, he could save it just as good as anybody. So I think the hardest guy to move up off the bottom, use the bumper on, is definitely this 15. He is calm and cool all the time, and I tell you what, he will definitely return the favor if possible. But man, look at Shane all over the back bumper, not letting him breathe at all.
Well, hell, I mean, he hit him going into turn one, but I think it was just Coffee getting on the brakes just a little bit too early. Check him out. I mean, Parrish is just wearing him out. Coffee got to keep it up on the top side. Here comes Parrish. He's going to dive it down to the inside. We'll see if they make contact. Hell no, you couldn't fit a piece of paper between both of them coming off of turn two. Coffee has the advantage, but Parrish down to the inside, trying to get the lead. Now here comes Coffee. He's going to fight hard on the outside, tries to get the run. Parrish still there. Hell of a battle between both of these guys up here, but now this side-by-side racing. What it's going to open up is back there in third. Brandon Bikey, Randy Mullins back there third and fourth.
He turns him!
Right side, and Parrish is going to turn him, and both of them get involved going into three.
And that's what Brandon Bikey was waiting for, as they have been battling, for this whole time. And that's what these guys have been waiting for. And now Alex Coffee, you see the damage there to that 15 machine. And, I don't know. That is wild. I did not expect that to happen. Let's go back and check it out on the replay. Down on the inside, I mean, Shane has been trying this for a while and hasn't been able to get it done. And they make just a little bit of contact there and sends them both around.
I mean, wow. I mean, and Parrish actually came up the track and kind of got into the left rear of Alex Coffee, and that's what started the whole deal. I mean, Coffee couldn't go up any higher right there, Eddie. And, maybe we need to think about this, because it's like Shane White was saying a while ago, that car, it maybe floated up like it did earlier on when we saw another accident when they was going into three right there. So maybe the car just floated up right there just out of nowhere, and Parrish wasn't expecting it. It just, like I said, floated straight up into his left rear and sent him around right there. There you see the contact. Coffee locks it down. Parrish just trying to get the hell away from him. Unfortunately, he gets involved right here. So this just opened up literally the floodgates for everybody right here, because the two top guys, the two fastest guys, literally were 2 seconds ahead of Bikey and them. Now it's open season for the rest of the guys.
Yeah, that's a bummer right there. I did not want to see that at all, because I thought the racing was just unbelievable. But, you strike a match near fire long enough there, Jake, and boom, you're going to catch fire. And that's exactly what happened. Light a match near gas, you're going to get fire. And I think that's what was happening. So that bit both of them. I mean, both those guys are fine. I mean, Shane Parrish not really in the battle. I think he has been. I don't think he's in the points battle at all. Maybe a backup driver. I'm not real sure. But Alex Coffey locked in. He'll be fine. He'll move on. But he is going to have a lot of damage to fix that 15 machine. But we move on. I mean, for Brandon Bikey, Randy Mullins, now all of a sudden you've inherited the lead and maybe the win. So we haven't even got to the end of stage 2.
Yeah, I mean this thing's not over, not yet by a long shot. I mean, Mikey Mullins, obviously Mullins has got the big fan base up there. Excuse me, and Mikey up here, he's got a shot. He's got some fans out there too. Jordan Schmitz, hell, he started 23rd, and he's up there in the 3rd spot. TWJ, my pick, Eddie, every damn week, because we always like I said, we always love the storylines. TWJ up there in 4th, Barry Sanders in 5th. Like I said, open season right here. Literally, open season right here for these guys to get up here. Any of these guys has got a shot to win this damn thing. But I'll say this, Bikey and Mullins, aside from Parrish and Coffee, Bikey and Mullins, they are now the 2 best cars on the racetrack. So it could be a battle between them. But hell, you never know. Might see a Parrish Coffee deal going into 3. And they both may take each other out, and we may be talking about a whole different ball game.
Yep, for sure. Lots of talent up in here still. You take out the 2 best cars, and who do you have? Brandon Bikey, Randy Mullins. It's just unbelievable. I would say I would put this top 10 and just at any point, pick a race, look at the top 10 of the running order at any lap. I'd put that top 10 up against any other league out there. Just incredible. The kind of talent that is in this series. And going green here with just a few laps to go before this stage, 150. So 21 laps left in this stage. And Brandon Bikey has inherited the lead, and Barry Sanders wrecks the 54. He's holding on to it, able to save it, caution out, but the 54 will go around, and he'll go all the way back to 23rd.
Oh, my goodness. I guarantee you the Randy Mullins fans is not going to be happy about that one. I got a feeling they're all going to be chiming in to see Barry Sanders. Think he maybe just overdrove the corner right there, just kind of slides right up into Mullins right there. Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what it is right here. Barry Sanders just overdrives the car, drives it straight up into the 54, and his left rear sends Mullins back. So, I mean, Eddie, we've already seen all kinds of chaos right here. We've already seen, Coffee and Parrish get involved. Now we see Mullins getting involved right here. Oh, man, this is going to get crazy
save,
right
man.
here. This is literally, this is going to be, like I said, this is open season, 9 ways to Sunday right here on everybody.
Watch this save.
Nobody's safe. Nobody's safe at this point. Hell of a save, but nobody's safe.
Yeah, great work by everybody to avoid him, and Randy doing what he needs to do. Holds the wheel to the right, holds the brakes, didn't roll down the track, and able to live to fight another day. Yeah, just a bummer to see that happen. Obviously, wasn't intentional. Barry just trying to get all he could get on that restart. But man, if you're the 54, you got to be just throwing your hands up like, God dang it, I just got up here. It's just not gonna go all the way and do it again.
Well, he'd probably be able to do it anyway. We're just past halfway, so he'd have to do it a little bit quicker this next time around. But Mullins, he's one of the best. He's the point leader for a damn reason, Eddie. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Mullins be able to drive back up here and get back up here in contention for the win. But I'll say this, he might not be so nice with Barry Sanders in that 88 when he gets to it, though.
You know, Randy Mullins just doesn't strike me as that type of guy. I mean, as far as thinking back to all the driving that's been aggressive, there's a few names that come to my mind that I won't say that I think of when I think of somebody that might be willing to take somebody out. Now, Randy's just doesn't seem one of those guys. I think that's why he's a points leader. He keeps all the beef away from himself. That way he can always have some good finishes. That right there, I think you just kind of go and look, say, hey, what happened there? And somebody said, yeah, it looks like Barry drove it in a little bit deep. All right, I saved it, and just kind of move on. I think that's the way Randy is. So I don't think we'll see any retaliation. But it wouldn't surprise me with still over 100 laps to go that if he doesn't get back to the front, that's for sure. But Brandon Bikey now is going to be the one we're talking about. But Jordan Schmitz has been there since he took those tires, did that like Daniel Suarez strategy with those tires, got up to the front and has not given up since he's been up here. So we'd be fools to not sit here and consider Jordan Schmitz a contender for the win. Gonna see what he's willing to do. Barry Sanders is still there. He makes contact with the 54, but he's been up in the top 5 all race on. This has been a really interesting race. We got some people that have come up from the back, but most of these guys have been up here this whole time. And, we still got some folks towards the back. I mean, Matt Mackin, who we saw, I thought he was out of this race. He's in 16th spot. He's made up 12 spots. So there is a lot that can still go on, and we're still just 15 laps from stage 2. Who's going to get that win? We're going to find out here. Is Mikey going to choose the outside here on this restart?
Yeah, we'll see what Mikey does right here. You got Mikey, Schmidt, Sanders, Carmichael, TWJ. That's the top 5. See how all that works out. Matt Cox, spring winner. He's sitting back there right beside TWJ in 6th. And Eddie, before they go back green, I will say this. You were talking about guys for retaliation. I can tell you one driver that would love to do some retaliation. Me, I've done it before. A green flag here at Richmond.
Well, Mikey gets a great start. He is able to get out ahead of Schmidt. Schmidt's going to hold on to that 2nd spot. Hunter Carmichael tried to put a little bit of move on him, but Hunter Carmichael going to settle in 3rd place. Barry Sanders, Tim Wortman drove it deep into the corner, and there's Matt Cox on the outside, that 32. New life breathed into him as he's going to try to get back up to the front using that outside line. Going to drive to the outside of Barry Sanders. What a power move by the 32. Couldn't quite get it to rotate in the middle, but he is trying all he can do. Look at Tim Wortman throw some blocks there.
Woo, boy, they are straight up rocking and rolling right here. Here comes Cox trying to get rolling on the outside. Matthews gets loose. Something amiss on the 5. I mean, he just straight up lost a couple of spots right there. Had to gather it back up. A hell of a save. Looking 3 wide up here with TWJ Barry Sanders. Holy hell, Devitt boy, get you some. Matt Cox trying to get up here. Get on to that top 5. He's trying to roll up here. Maybe try to go for 4th right here on Barry Sanders. Hunter Carmichael up here still holding down 3rd. Brandon Backey is long gone right now at this point. We're going to stay back here with this battle with Barry Sanders and Matt Cox. TWJ looking fantastic. Hell of a race back here as TWJ in the wall.
Yeah, pucker moment there for Tim Wortman as he almost makes contact with the wall. May have, and I thought, man, they might be going around, but Tim Wortman is trying to get around Barry Sanders, just cannot quite get there. He's going to look down to the inside. Barry, both these drivers in front of him went around him on the outside, and Wortman not able to make that inside work just at the moment. Look at Paul Gallimore. He was a roadblock a minute ago, got some fresh tires, and now look at him moving forward. I tell you what, I like the tire call now because I like being aggressive. I like to be the one on offense. And so right now, Paul Gallimore, he is on offense versus what he was earlier on defense. It is so much more fun when you got the fresher tires. You can make all the moves the other guy can't, and you can move up through the field. That is so much more fun than falling backwards slowly. So Paul Gallimore up into 6th, going to try to get up there with his teammates.
Yeah, I agree with you 100% right there, Eddie. You always want to be on offense. When you get past and you're on old tires, yeah, it sucks. You want to be on the good tires. You want to be on the fast tires, the good grip tires. That's exactly what Gallimore's on. Dives it down to the inside, trying to get around TWJ. How about this battle up here for 3rd? Cox and a Carmichael caution going into turn 3.
Johnny Shade has gone around on the track. That 13 kind of been driving a little bit nervous here tonight. We saw him a couple times get a little bit loose in a 3-wide situation, but this time goes around and brings out our caution. I don't think that'll be stage. It's still 8 laps to go to stage, so we should get a restart before this thing is over with. Let's see if we can go back and find out what happened to Johnny here. Down to the inside of Chris Spear, makes a little bit of contact, and they're trying to get out of the way, and my goodness, the 81 just comes flying in while they're wrecking. That's Matthew Campbell, and golly, big hit as they were trying to save it.
Yeah, but that 81 of Matt Campbell, I mean, hell, honestly, I don't think he's lifted yet. You're going to see it right here. I mean, they see all the sideways up here. Hell, he's still rolling, baby. He's got it like he's racing at Daytona here in 2 weeks. He hasn't lifted yet. But, I mean, wow. I mean, all that action going on up there. Johnny Shade, Chris Spear, and Campbell drives in there. He gets into the back on, literally up. I mean, check this out right here, folks. This is going to be a hell of a ride. literally looking from the eyes of Campbell, check it out, up on 2 wheels, and then basically right back down, trying to get it going. But yeah, he's gonna have to lift eventually because I believe that car is done for Campbell.
I think he heard Harry say, "You could drive through it." And he just said, "All right," and just went ahead and kept the foot down. But
he sure did.
That's going to cost him greatly for doing that. And you're right. He never lifted. Just said they were getting loose. I think he thought Johnny was going to spin down to the inside wall and he was going to take advantage of it. And that's just a great example of why you don't do that, because it doesn't take much for these cars to come back out on the track with somebody overcorrecting, and he is going to pay the price. So, few drivers out of this race. Still, most everybody is in it. Nicholas Atwood has called it quits. Darren Mills also has called it quits. So everybody still in this thing. It looks like maybe Matthew Campbell just got out of his car as well. So mostly everybody else still in this thing. Got the 66 of Shane Parrish. He is still on pit road trying to get some of that damage fixed. Alex Coffey right in front of him. He has been on pit road multiple times. He's 1 lap down, trying to get that car put back together to get back out there, gain as many points as he can. But they are in big trouble after that contact with him and Shane Parrish.
Yeah, I mean, Coffey may be able to have a shot to probably try to get back on the lead lap right here, because obviously there's going to be a stage break here in the near future, obviously, within the next couple of laps. Chris Spear, he is still on pit road, so he's actually going to go 2 laps down right here. Coffey may be able to get the lucky dog right here when that caution comes out, and Coffey will be able to jump right back on the lead lap and get up there, battle it out, all that good stuff. So Coffey's not out of the woods yet. I mean, as far as the win goes, it's probably gone. And I'm just being blunt, folks. I mean, that win's probably gone. Is there a shot at the top 10? Oh, hell yeah. We got a long way to go. We still got right around 100 laps to go. Anything can happen. They could all pile up, and he can still get him a top 10 out of it. You never know.
Well, we got a few laps in this stage. Going to be a little shootout here. The lap 150, going to take the green flag on lap 147. So we'll just have about 4 laps to go in this stage. Who's going to get the stage 2 victory? Right now, Brandon Bikey has kind of inherited the one to beat title, and he's going to have another great restart here. He's got his teammate Paul Gallimore behind him. We'll see what they can do here on this restart. A little shove there from Paul Gallimore. The 27 gets a good jump. See Aaron Matthews looking down to the inside. They're going to make it 3 wide going into turn number 1. I don't know if they can make it. Oh, they squeeze. Coming off of 2, still door banging. They're still 3 wide. What a great move there by Aaron Matthews. He's going to look for more.
Yeah, Matthews is not playing around right now on that number 5. Dove it down to the inside of Matt Cox. Now he's going to be on the inside of Chris Davis. Getting those stage points, baby. That's all he is worried about. Matthews trying to get around Davis. He's trying to bring, I believe that is Brandon Fetterplace. No, that is the 55 of Warren Young. We haven't talked about him all race long. He's showing 10, but he is the number 55. Driving the hell out of that sucker right there. He's on the inside of Matt Cox. Right in front of him, Aaron Matthews trying to go to the inside of Jordan Smeets. That's the battle for 3rd. Gallimore right in front of him. Bikey trying to check out. Smeets gets loose off 2. Here comes Matthews. He's going to take 3rd. He's going to try to bring Chris Davis with him.
Yeah, Gallimore, Matthews, Davis, and Warren Young all pitted about 24 laps ago versus 72 laps of everybody else around him. So, really good strategy there to get some of those stage points. But Brandon Bikey coming around here, going to win stage number 2 as there's some extracurricular stuff going on in the back. People bouncing off the wall, but Bikey, no competition here on this little quick run to the finish. He's going to cross the line, and that will be your stage 2 winner, Brandon Bikey.
Hell of a drive by Brandon Bikey. He'll get it. Paul Gallimore right behind him. How about Aaron Matthews started 25th? Hell of a drive. And, I mean, honestly, I got to pull a Tony Stewart quote, which, matter of fact, happened here at Richmond. That move that he made on that restart was sexy. Aaron Matthews just dove it down in there. He made it stick. Probably caught Matt Cox sleeping a little bit. Matthews to get third, Jordan Schmeets fourth, and Chris Davis. That's your top 5 here for stage number 2. Fantastic to see right there. Brandon Bikey up here at the front. If he wants any competition, Reddy Mullins has got to get up here and get a hold of this, or else this could be Brandon Bikey's race.
Yeah, I don't know. Bikey seems to be, oh man, a little bit of a strategy call like that. Gallimore thought about coming down pit road, but these guys who pitted about 27 laps ago now are going to stay out. So some strategy here at the end of stage number 2. I like that. 100 laps to go. Cautions have been flying left and right. And there you go. Alex Coffey going to get his lap back. So that number 15 back on the lead lap. But this is going to change a lot. This guy, we're talking about being a little messy, being a caution field. I don't know if it's going to get any better with all these drivers who have been up front going to go to the back or go down the running order at least. And it's going to shake things up quite a bit. We'll give you the top 20 here real quick. Paul Gallimore now, Aaron Matthews, Chris Davis, Warren Young, and Hunter Carmichael will inherit the top 5. The top 4 are on 28 lap old tires. Hunter Carmichael, Barry Sanders, Randy Mullins, Tim Wortman Jr., they are on 10 lap old tires. So pretty much fresh tires from there on out. Shane Parrish has gotten back up into the top 10 in that 66 car. He is in 9th. Blaine Wilson in that 18, we saw him without a bumper. The front bumper was gone, and they have put a bumper back on that machine, and he is running in the top 10. Now he's got Brandon Bikey, Matt Cox, Jordan Schmeets, Brandon Fetterplace, and Jeffrey Taylor, who's in the top 15 right behind him. We'll see if he can hold those guys off. But Justin Belmont is in 16th, Caden Norfree in 17th, Jared Clark in 18th, Ryan Huff in 20th, and Jamison Middlemiss is your top 20.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Matt Mackin back there with Nigel Christensen, Johnny Shade, Nick King, Chris Spear, Matt Campbell, Nicholas Atwood, Darren Mills, the 29 drivers here tonight. But I want to go back to Blaine Wilson. You talked about him a second ago. Whole front bumper was absolutely gone. And now it looks like he's got a damn brand new clean car out here in that number 18. He better buy his virtual pit crew, all of them, a case of beer a piece after this right here, because that might have just saved his tail to have a shot to get a top 10 here tonight for Blaine Wilson. So a lot of virtual beer may be spewing all over the place here in Richmond, Virginia.
You know, I heard spewing all over the place, and I'm going to be honest, I wasn't listening. I was looking at something else, and I don't know what the context is, but I caught the end of that. Yeah, it looked like F1. Like, they got front bumpers just laying in pits, it looks like, because they changed the front wing out, and, man, that 18 still looks pretty dang good. So we'll see if he can maintain, though, because look right behind him. You got Brandon Bikey, who definitely looked like he had the best car since the front two, Shane Parrish and Coffey, were gone. We'll see if he can get back up to the front. He's going to have to get through the 66, who's still back out on track after getting all that damage fixed. So this is going to get wilder and wilder. It's not going to get any easier for anybody at the moment. But right up front, it's going to be Paul Gallimore, Aaron Matthews staying out. Oh, I don't know what happened. I thought Aaron Matthews' car had died or something. I don't know.
Playing with him.
Yeah. But, yeah, we're going to see what these guys could do. Did a great job of getting that track position. We'll see if it holds as they get ready to go green here on lap 156. Still got a little over 100 laps to go. Paul Gallimore with a great jump there on that start.
Yeah, basically caught Aaron Matthews sleeping right there on that restart. Warren Young's going to try to take it up to the top side, see if he can try to make it stick. Chris Davis right behind them. Barry Sanders back here. They're battling it out for that 4th spot. Hunter Carmichael going to try to jump up here and get into this battle as well. But Paul Gallimore trying to check out. He's got Warren Young right behind him. Warren Young could be playing a little bit of a spoiler right here. Eddie, we was talking about it. You know, this being one of those roulette wheel type racetracks right here. You never know what can happen right here. This is one of those spoiler tracks. Warren Young could get up here and get him some, and so could Aaron Matthews.
Yeah, he moves into the 2nd position as the battles continue to go on back here, as this is the cluster of drivers. This is where the storm is rolling through. Turn number 2. as this is where the new tires and old tires meet. This is the storm front. You heard of the cold front and the warm front meeting together. That's where the storms happen. That's where this is. You see Randy Mullins with Matt Cox underneath, Blaine Wilson with Brandon Bikey, and then right up front you can see Shane Parrish with the 74, Chris Davis. Now Chris Davis, we know he can get a victory in that 74 machine, and then Tim Wortman. So they're trying to settle it out between each other. But this is going to continue to push up towards the front, I think, because these guys have some really fast cars. As Wortman gets into the wall there, makes a little bit of contact. We've seen that a couple times here tonight. But actually really impressed to see that 66 with some damage get back in this thing and still be pretty quick.
Absolutely. I mean, and Shane Parrish trying to roll this top side, get Chris Davis to his inside. Right behind them, Matt Cox in the 32. He's trying to roll. Here comes Brandon Bikey and Randy Mullins. And, boy, I'm telling you, they are lighting up that damn live chat, all 26 of you. All 26 of you must be Randy Mullins fans. Y'all got to be. Because every time I look down, I see where Randy Mullins is. There is a miss on, for a second, I thought Bikey, as much as Bikey's been doing up there at the front, hell, for a second, I thought he was up front. He's back there with Jeffrey Taylor in the 23. Jeffrey Taylor started fourth. He's just outside the top 10 at 23. He's trying to see if it can turn his night around and get up here and get him some.
They almost tried to go 3 wide there and thought better of it as Randy Mullins was able to get ahead of Bikey. And so right now it's a battle all throughout the field. Shane Parrish now looking down to the inside, using that inside line, that entry to one that he's been doing all race. It's been working so well. Now to the inside of Wortman. Can he hold on to it? He's still there, down into 3 and 4. Shane Parrish, seems like that car is still in pretty good shape.
Shane Parrish may be one of those guys that we may be talking about. Even with all the controversy, however, some of you fans out there in the live chat want to talk about it. With Shane Parrish, he may still have a shot to try to win this thing here tonight. He's inside the TWJ battle for 6th. Hunter Carmichael right in front of him. He's got Matt Cox right on his back bumper as well. Gallimore still trying to check out, but Shane Parrish looking very, very strong right here. He's trying to get around TWJ. He's going to get around him. He's going to try to get around Hunter Carmichael for 5th.
Yeah, and Matt Cox just following him. I mean, the 66 has been really caution. Jared Clark and the 01 of Matt Mackin and Nick King. Also, contact. So, another caution here out on the speedway. Go back and see what happened between these drivers. 93 of Ryan Huff. Don't know if the accident happened right in front of him. It looks like, Alex Coffey going to go down to the inside. Kind of late move there, I'll admit.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of did happen right there in front of Ryan Huff, because Ryan Huff kind of gasses up and just drives right under the back bumper of Jared Clark. Clark ends up going around Nick King, Nigel Christensen. They both go around Mackin. And King, I mean, there's nowhere for them to go. Clark, you'll see him right here. He's basically a track blocker. There goes Christensen. He back gets loose. And then literally King and Mackin, both of them, basically like dominoes. Basically, they just followed each other straight into Clark. And both of them end up going around right there. So, little aggressive move right there. Maybe,
what you could see.
Huff, Coffey was coming on the inside. I think it might have threw Huff off a little bit.
Yeah, Huff was going to look down to the inside, and I don't think Jared Clark actually knew that that they were 3 wide in that situation. He couldn't see Alex out of his rearview mirror, so I think he was thinking that that Huff was going to go down to the bottom, and that's where that contact happened. So, nobody's fault there. I mean, Coffey didn't do anything wrong. Neither did either one of those. So it's just a racing deal right there. Just bang, bang, and all of a sudden, boom.
Hate to see that right there for those guys, because obviously we talked about the playoff projections when the race started, and one of those drivers that got involved in that was the 24 of Nick King. Nick King on the outside looking in, trying to get himself up into this battle. Nigel Christensen, we saw the 17, he got loose. He didn't necessarily get as bad as, King and Matt Mackin, but at the same time, Christensen kind of got spun around. He's been through hell and back here this evening. He's 48 out from the start of the race. King 29 out from the start of the race. There you see the playoff standings as of right now. I was just talking about King and Christensen, both of those guys right there on the bottom. This is not one of those nights that you want if you're Nick King. Nick King, one of the fastest drivers that I have seen here with the OB Builders Cup Series. Nick King has a shot to try to get up here, get in this battle, get up here into the into the playoffs and get it up in that top 16. I think he's just got to have a little bit of luck. Honestly, Eddie, I mean, I've seen it numerous times, drivers be very, very, very fast, and their luck just sucks. And I think that's what I've seen so far with Nick King. I think he just got to have a little bit of luck. He gets a little luck, he ain't going to have to worry about it. He'll be in that top 16.
Yeah, he's been involved in quite a bit tonight. Nigel Christensen, we've seen him go around 3 or 4 times tonight. Johnny Shade, we saw him involved just a few minutes ago. He's been in a few wrecks. So all these guys trying to do everything they can to get into the playoffs, and they need good runs, and they're all just having trouble. Justin Belmont has been around a couple times, but he still runs in the 13th position. So he's had a couple issues, but able to get that back on the right track. We just saw Blaine Wilson have his issues, but he's back in 12th with that front end gone, and he is back in 12th. So, and then Aaron Matthews has been strong all race long. So these guys having really good runs here tonight. And in the spring, Aaron Matthews actually finished in the 3rd position. It was a 3-way, less than a second between Matt Cox, Brandon Bikey, Aaron Matthews there in 3rd. So he has been fast at Richmond the last couple times we've been here. So he might have something to say. He's doing a good job, though, of getting as many points as he can. Great flag back out. Paul Gallimore gets a great jump. Warren Young kind of got beat there on that restart. Barry Sanders now on the outside of that 10. Going to drive really wide into the corner. Try to get that second spot.
Yeah, Barry Sanders going to see if he can try to get it to roll. Here comes Warren Young to the inside of Paul Gallimore. Sanders back here. He's just trying to hold on to 3rd. Here comes Carmichael. Hunter Carmichael down to the inside of Aaron Matthews. You see the battle going on back there for the 4th spot. But
that's for the lead.
10:55. Hell, whichever way you want to look at it. He's got the 10 on the card, but he's showing 55 by timing and scoring. He does not give a damn. Warren Young to the inside, trying to get around Paul Gallimore, fighting it out for this lead right in front of Barry Sanders.
Yeah, has been just trying to chip away there on the inside line. Did not have a great turn a couple laps ago. Kind of fell back, but here he comes again. Another charge down the back straightaway. Gallimore trying to hang on. I don't know who the hell that was doing the Hail Melon against the outside wall in turns 1 and 2, but we're going to stay on this battle for the lead. Hopefully it stays green. Warren Young going to take the lead as Gallimore going to look back down to the inside, but Warren has it as they go through turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, I mean, basically right now, Paul Gallimore basically is a bad boy sandwich right now. Warren Young, Barry Sanders, 1st and 3rd. Gallimore, the meat and the sandwich. Now Gallimore, he's got to check up. Almost gets loose coming off of 2. That's going to slide him right to the front bumper of Barry Sanders. How about Matt Cox? Your spring winner. He has worked his way up here to get into this battle. Literally, the top 3 is we got a wreck back in the back. Ryan Huff back there in the as
Shane
well
Parrish.
As Brandon Fetterplace and Shane Parrish. No caution on the speedway as of yet. Brandon Fetterplace, one of those drivers involved as well as Shane Parrish, as he is still out there on the track trying to chug along.
Let's take a look real quick. I know there's no caution, but we're going to want to see what's going on 3 wide there. Is Shane Parrish trying to make something work? And Blaine Wilson, teammate to Alex Coffey, by the way, gives him a little shove, said, hey, I don't appreciate the way you're driving, and it sends him on around. So it looks like everybody able to keep it together, although it seems like there's more extracurricular stuff going on the track. But let's go back to the racing as, Warren Young trying to pull away as Barry Sanders trying to hang on here. Get to that 3rd position, but Hunter Carmichael down on the inside. Who's going to get ahead? Matt Cox just saying, y'all figure it out. I got to go. Brandon Bikey right behind me. I got to go. We're going to make it 3 wide here for 3rd place. Matt Cox says, I'm tired of waiting around. He goes down to the inside, going to push Hunter Carmichael out of the groove. Door to door, off of turn 4.
Well, I mean, Matt Cox tried to give him the opportunity to go ahead and sort it out, and then he said, you know what? I had a damn enough. Y'all took too damn long. I'm going. And that's what Cox did. Sends Carmichael up the hill. Bakey's going to come down to the inside. Cox trying to work his way to the inside of Sanders. Sanders throws the block on him. Cox going to send him up the racetrack. Matt Cox goes to third. Here comes Bakey and Carmichael. Hell yeah, this is the kind of racing that we was waiting on right here, Eddie. Good, clean, hard racing. Guys throwing blocks, hitting each other in the back end. This is short track racing right here, folks. This is the kind of stuff that gets you fired up.
Absolutely. Barry Sanders just trying to hang on, but it just keeps getting stuck there on the outside. That's why he threw that block on Matt Cox. He said, man, I got to stop the bleeding here. But he is trying. He's going to drive it deep into the corner, but Bakey is going to have the run through the middle. And they continue to run side by side as Matt Cox now looking down to the inside of Gallimore. This is for second. And I'm going to be honest with you. I think Matt Cox is ready to do the repeat because he is the fastest car on the track at the moment.
Yeah, this is kind of shocking right here, Eddie, because we've already seen Matt Cox with all the struggles that he's had. I mean, hell, wasn't he the first caution of the night? And now Barry Sanders getting loose coming off of 2. Hell of a save by the 88. Drives it right back up on the track, and no harm, no foul for Barry Sanders. But that could have been big right there for the 88. But Matt Cox has a shot to get up here and basically turn his night around. I mean, literally, it was at the lowest of lows right at the start. And, I mean, hell, I think he went one lap down at one point, Eddie. Now, he has got himself in contention to get up here and get this win. But Warren Young sitting in first. Warren Young is not going to give it up that easy.
No, absolutely. You do not want to see that 32 get by you and get gone. You can see he's actually kind of giving him that inside line, saying, hey, go ahead and go down to the inside. I'm going to defend on the outside line. And I think Cox going to take it. Oh, and he's going to avoid Warren Young, who throws sort of a late block down to the bottom. And, I mean, Cox was really sending it in there, and he's going to lose a ton of spots as here comes Randy Mullins on the outside with Jeffrey Taylor. They're 3 wide. Can they keep it together? Cox trying to get back going, but that was almost disastrous for the 32.
Yeah, Cox, hell of a save for him, and hell of a great wreck avoidance by everybody else because, I mean, they could have just literally drove right in the back of him and took him out. So Matt Cox, hell of a save and hell of a drive by the rest of the field. Here comes Brandon Bakey going for second, trying to get him some. And Gallimore, Hunter Carmichael up here, they're going to get involved as well. Randy Mullins up here trying to see if he can latch on to these guys as well. Jeffrey Taylor to the inside. He's getting shoved, literally damn near almost getting wrecked by Shane Parrish, and Matthews goes into 4 cautions out.
Oh, my goodness. And I was about to say, Shane Parrish back in the top 10. I mean, he's been knocked around and I mean, major damage.
Wow.
What happened there? That's Jordan Schmitz, huh?
I think Parrish just sends it a little bit too hard right there, Eddie. You know, we'll see it right here on the instant replay. See Parrish down on the inside right here. He's got Cox right here working in front of him. This is coming off of 2. They get the 4 here in a second. He's got Jeffrey Taylor right in front of him. They send it going into turn number 3. Gets into the back of Taylor, and then Parrish just gasses up right here like Matthews ain't even there. Turns him straight through that. Justin Belmont gets involved. Jordan Schmitz also gets involved as well. I mean, literally, he gassed it up like Matthews wasn't even there.
I think Aaron Matthews was spinning those tires off the corner. Let's go back and watch that right here. Yeah, he's coming down the track as Shane's coming up. I mean, that's a tough deal there.
Well, it was kind of hard to see.
Yeah, it was.
From my point of view.
Whoever is running the replays, whoever's running the replays sucks. Because it was hard to see. But yeah, I think Aaron Matthews got a little bit loose there, trying to gas it up right here. Leans on the 66. The 66 does come up. I mean, he's definitely driving like the 5 isn't there. That's just a bad racing deal there. Guys just racing hard.
Yeah, I mean, that happens, Eddie, right there. I mean,
Jordan Schmitz gets the worst.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And you hate to see it for Jordan Schmitz because, hell, he started 25th. And at one point, he was up there battling for the lead Let me say that once again for you folks. The lead. He was up there at one point in that particular situation, and then just bad luck catches Jordan Swaits. How about some of these drivers just driving right between them? I'm not even sure which one of them it was. I think it might have been Mackin. I'm not 100%. Middlemas in the 16. It was lime green car. Good call on that one, Eddie. I mean, literally just drove right through them and said, you know what, screw it. I'm just going to send it. So awesome to see Middlemas try that off right there. But check it out. Matt Cox going for that sweep, Eddie.
Yeah, back up front. I mean, he takes 2 tires here. I like this call. I really do like this call. It's not a secret at all, but people are always nervous to try it. But in the hands of a really good driver, 2 tires in the next gen car is actually really good. If you ever run at Vegas, if you ever run a Las Vegas next gen race in the fixed series, take 2 tires with about 30 laps to go or less, and I promise you'll be faster than anybody else on the track. It works. Now, some vehicles it doesn't work, but in the next gen, for some reason, the 2-tire call is a great one, and Matt Cox is going to use it right here. Going to come out, 10-second stop, 2 tires, comes out with the lead, and now he can try to set sail, and I think he'll be in good position. That 32 has been fast. Now he's got the lead, and he'll have anybody to fight and get loose under. So this is going to be dangerous. I can't wait to see how this plays out.
Yeah, it's going to be real interesting right here on this restart. See how all this ends up working out right here. I'm telling you, going to be crazy right here. Cox, Warren Young, Brandon Bikey. How about this right here? You know, you talked about it earlier. Matt Cox won the race. I believe Bikey finished second, and Hunter Carmichael finished third in the spring race. If I'm right on
Aaron
what
Matthews.
You said earlier. Aaron Matthews, I'm sorry. Well, hell,
Yeah.
that kind of just killed what I was fixing to say.
Let's just pretend it was Hunter Carmichael. Let's play
Okay,
pretend.
well then that's fine. Then you're looking at 1, 3, and 5 right there. All of them would have a shot to try to win this race, just like they would in the spring. But unfortunately, Aaron Matthews got caught up in that last accident. So, but you still got first and second, literally. Cox and Bikey, first and third right here on this restart. Cox going to take the top, Young on the bottom, Bikey on the bottom, Gallimore up top. This is going to get good.
Here we go through the Geico restart zone. Cox going to roll it through a little bit. Here he comes. Gets a great jump. Paul Gallimore going to get to the outside, but Warren Young going to have control of the second place. He's going to drive it really deep into the corner. Almost makes a little contact with the 32. Is now teammates side by side for third place.
And Warren Young trying to see if he can keep it rolling. Here's Gallimore. Here's Bikey. Both of them battling it out side by side. Gallimore slides up. Bikey's going to slide below him. Wortman Jr. back here trying to get it back around Hunter Carmichael. But Carmichael, he's going to dip it down to the inside. Here comes TWJ. Tim Wortman Jr. following him. Randy Mullins back there in the 54th. TWJ, hell of a save by the 83. But now he's going to drive right back up. Nigel Christensen damn near cleans him out. With TWJ, Tim Wortman Jr., hell of a save. And now Carmichael and Gallimore, a little bit of beef between these guys now.
Yeah, he got loose maybe and got just a little bit nervous. Yeah, right now still having some sort of issues. Randy Mullins now looking down to the inside. So I don't know what's going on with the 3, but he got all out of shape and is falling into the clutches of these guys. So something happened to the 3. Might have just lit those tires up down the straightaway because that's where he got loose. Went all the way down to the grass. So doing a little bit of landscaping. Randy Mullins trying to get to the inside. Just can't do it just yet. But here we go. Battle for second. Brandon Bikey. Matt Cox did not want to see this. Of course, he would love if Warren Young would just fight like hell to hold on to that second spot, but Warren Young gets into the wall as they continue to battle side by side for third, side by side for fifth, side by side for seventh, Jake.
I'm telling you right now, I mean, this is probably what the fans wanted to see right here. Matt Cox, Brandon Bikey, round 2 here at Richmond. Here comes Mullins. He's going to dip down to the inside. Battle for fourth is on. Mullins, Carmichael, right behind them, Gallimore and Blaine Wilson. I'm telling you, he may end up the hell with a case. Buy him a damn keg of virtual beer, however you want to look at it. Blaine Wilson started 11th. Whole front bumper was gone. He's up here. He has a shot to try to get a top 5. And remember, Eddie, remember, Remember what I talked about, the sister track, Iowa. Blaine Wilson, if I'm not mistaken, he finished in the top 3 at Iowa. Blaine Wilson knows how to get around these particular tracks.
Yes, he does. He's trying to hold off Gallimore. Got clear, but Gallimore got back down to the inside. Randy Mullins not able to clear Hunter Carmichael. And so the 54 are going to have to go back to work to get around this 3. I know he's ready to get to the front. 50 laps to go in this race. Matt Cox out to a 1-second lead as Brandon Bikey going to try to set his sights on that leader. But Matt Cox laying down some of the fastest lap times we've seen here tonight. And he is really doing a good job. I'm telling you, those 2 tires, they work better than you think they do in the next gen. And he waited to the perfect time to do it. If we stay green, I think Matt, he already had one of the fastest cars. He's got the track position, and Bikey right now trying to keep up. But Matt Cox last lap 22.399. We'll call it a 22.4. Brandon Bikey a 22.535. So he is laying down some really quick lap times right now.
Matt Cox that last lap 22.433. Bikey ran a 22.5, so another 10th, I guess you could say, that Matt Cox is doing over Brandon Bikey. There you see the 32 spring winner trying to go for the sweep. Bikey trying to hold off Warren Young, and Hunter Carmichael trying to hold off Randy Mullins. That's the top 5 as they run. There you see the gap, and it has grown big time right now as Cox really grew it right there. I guess you could say he gets about a 10th each lap. And what's hurting Bikey right now is Warren Young straight up his back bumper is throwing Bikey off. I guarantee he is throwing his line off because he's having to look up in his mirror. He sees that number 10 or 55, however you want to look at it, of Warren Young right behind him. He's got to be messing with his driving line.
Yeah, this is some good green flag racing. Everybody kind of got single filed out here in the top 10 for the most part. Tim Wortman back there battling with Jeffrey Taylor. But, we're pushing into what we saw earlier in the race. The first run of the race went for quite a while. So, if this run goes on, you got to be thinking about Randy Mullins. You've got to think about Brandon Bikey on the long run. What can Matt Cox do with those 2 tires as we get closer to lap 250? It's interesting now to see, as we lost a bunch of cars here with all the wrecks that we've had. Now, there's less folks to have issues, less potential cautions, and so you can really kind of settle in, try to get a long run going. So I'm expecting to see the 54, the 27 kind of make up some ground here at the end. But, I mean, right now, Matt Cox still 2/10 faster than anybody else on the track, so I don't know. They're going to have to figure it out quick because they're going to run out of time.
Well, I think what they need is somebody to maybe miss a corner and drive into somebody and cause a damn caution if they want to have a shot. And hell, as soon as I say it, I'm done. I'm done. Didn't even see it. Ryan Huff back there in the 93 gets involved back there. I think that's Alex Coffey. Hate to see it for that 15 getting involved in another accident tonight. But, folks, that was not planned. I promise you that was not planned.
It's exactly what you said, too.
I mean, literally overdrove the damn corner. I mean, it really did.
Ryan Huff said, I don't think so, and sent him right into the wall, a little right hook death trap. You said it. Are you on? I think you and Alex Coffey must be on the same team somewhere because that's exactly what you said. Somebody to drive through somebody, and that's exactly what happened.
Wow, like that. Yeah, it literally just happened right there. I was not expecting that right there.
Let's go back. Let's go back a couple, maybe a lap or so, and see if maybe we didn't see something, because that was a pretty egregious hit. I mean, that was Austin Dillon into Joey Logano. I don't see anything that Ryan Huff did. I think Alex just maybe driving a little bit deeper than. I'm going to watch here just see if we can see maybe some previous beef, a little bit of leaning towards a block maybe. Maybe Alex didn't like that. I don't know. He was kind of leaning to the left there, but Ryan either gets loose or just sends him right into the wall. I'm not sure.
Well, I mean, right up there in front of him when they was getting ready to go into turn 3, I mean, I guess you could say that Huff got on the brakes a little bit earlier because you see Shane Parrish up there in the 66, and maybe Parrish checks up a little bit hard, I guess you could say, to a certain extent for Ryan Huff. And then Huff just jams on the brakes. Coffee drives in there, wasn't expecting for. Coffee just straight up sends it in there and just straight up nails him right into the back bumper. Either or, I'm watching right here. Let's see what Huff.
Huff just gets loose.
Yeah, he got loose. Yeah. I mean, I thought he was pissed off too, Eddie. I ain't gonna lie. I thought he was pissed off too.
It's good for the broadcast if we got beef, you know.
Oh yeah, we love beef. Yeah. I mean, and I'll say this. I wouldn't be surprised Huff gassed it up right there to try to come down, and it probably got loose and still got him. So, I mean, you never know. I mean, and we're just speculating, folks. We're just trying to bring on a little bit of entertainment.
Look, if there's wheels to spin, we're going to spin them. I tell you that right now.
Yeah. Yeah, always. We love that entertainment.
A little update on the bubble. Justin Belmont, who's had such a great race so far, has really kind of had a couple spins, but has been able to recover, was inside the top 15. Actually lost connection to the server, dropped out, had to come back in, and now he is 5 laps down in the 21st position. So disappointing to see that happening. He was able to recover, still had a clean car. That disconnect is going to put him way back. And it's going to be tough for him to get back in this thing. So disappointing, but just wanted to give that development as he was able to get back in, but 5 laps down. Well, I mean, we're clicking off laps. We still got a long way to go, Jake. Matt Cox with those 2 tires really would have loved to seen that go on green, but it seems like he showed in practice he had the fastest car. In qualifying, he had one of the fastest cars, obviously, and he is showing how good that 32 machine is. If you're Randy Mullins, if you're Gallimore, what are you thinking about here? You only got you're running out of time. You don't have a whole lot of laps left. What are you going to do here to try to get up there and get this lead?
Scare the hell out of them. That's exactly what you do. I mean, and I'm not trying to make a joke right there, but that's exactly what you want to do. Is you want to try to scare the hell out of them. Get right up on the back bumper, make them drive out that mirror, and make them not worry about the front. Make them try to overdrive the corner. Out of that, or put the bumper to their ass. Green flag.
Well, Cox gets a great jump. Hunter Carmichael about half a car length back there on that restart, and he has got Randy Mullins all over the back bumper. Is Gallimore going to fall back to third, trying to gas it up there on the outside? We'll see if Carmichael gives him that space. Doesn't. So now the battle is between the two. I don't understand this, but Shane Parrish is in 5th position. I don't get it, man. I don't know. What kind of hammer? Oh, it's Blaine Wilson hard in the outside wall. No caution just yet. Tim Wortman involved. Justin Belmont. Barry Sanders with no bumpers. They continue to wreck here. I mean, they're still wrecking. The wrecking is moving through turn 2. And Blaine Wilson, big damage. No caution comes out. Wortman Jr. was involved in that one. They're still all over the place. Barry Sanders, no front end, banging against the wall. So we stay green, though, but that was wild.
Well, I mean, I'll say this right here. I mean, hell, they're trying to go ahead and get it all the way green and get it green to the end. But, I mean, I'm shocked right there, Eddie, that there was no caution right there. But we'll see what happens. Bikey looking down to the inside. He's got Gallimore up top. Right behind him, Shane Parrish. You talked about him a minute ago. Surprised to see him up here in that 6th spot. Even Jamison Middlemas up here started 20th. He's up there sitting in 8th. How about Nigel Christensen? One of those guys on the outside looking in right behind Middlemas. Just trying to get out here. All the struggles that he's had tonight, Christensen has a shot to come out of here with a top 10. It doesn't make a damn about the field count. He's still got a shot to get him a top 10. That's points, Eddie. That is big points over the guys that he's trying to race to try to get around that bubble line.
Yeah, what I've learned about this field, there's a lot of guys that got some mettle and they want to stay in these races. And Nigel had a tough first half of this race, but if he can hold steady here and keep these positions, not get any trouble as Middlemas gets in the wall a little bit, he's going to move up into 8th position here as Middlemas just gives it to him. This is a great recovery. These are those moments, man, when you look back on your season and go, man, I'm glad that I stuck with it, didn't give up, kept going, he has got an opportunity for maybe a top 5 if he keeps going. So, man, great recovery for him. I mean, and Shane Parrish, I mean, while he has been involved in so many wrecks, I mean, I don't understand. What kind of, they got Thor's hammer, they got Molnier out there putting his car back together, because that thing, it still looks a little beat up. That rear end is kind of tore up, but he is still fast, laying down faster lap times than the top 3. So, oh my goodness, this is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, this is really, really crazy to see right here, even with a dinged up car. Shane Parrish, I mean, literally just lights out right here. Here he comes up on the back bumper of Hunter Carmichael. Randy Mullins right in front of him. Parrish saw him do that move literally damn near every single time he goes into turn 1. He's able to dive down, get his nose down there to the inside of whoever the hell it is. Exactly, done the same thing right there with Hunter Carmichael right behind him. Warren Young trying to follow. Parrish gets loose on 4. Hell of a save.
Oh!
Comes up, cleans out Warren Young. No caution yet on the speedway. Where's the damn flagman? Where's Barney at? We got wrecking all over the place and no caution anywhere.
Yeah, man, I tell you what, the 66 is he's fast as all get out, but man, he is. I mean, that car obviously not driving great there, but man, just cleans out Warren Young. Just Warren with just an innocent bystander there. He's going to get it back going. Warren's holding on to that 5th position. Oh, he gets a little bit loose there. Here comes, yeah, that car has got a little bit of damage. Here comes Nigel Christensen. We talked about he might be able to get a top 5, and look at him in 6th, looking down the barrel of a top 5. Man, what a great drive by the 17. He's in the Hornet's nest now. He needs to be careful. There's Nick King giving him a little bit of shove. Both those guys, Nick King is multiple laps down. He is 2 laps down. Gives him a shove as Nigel Christensen trying to get away from him.
Well, I mean, think about it, though, Eddie. Think about it. Both of those drivers behind the cut line, not necessarily something that I would think. But here we go, Christensen to the inside of Gallimore. There's your top 5 spot right there. But, I mean, Nick King is racing him because both of those drivers are 2 of the first 4 out right there. So King may be trying to maybe, I guess you could say, pull a Earnhardt right here and try to rattle his cage, maybe try to screw him up any way that he can, shy from just straight up dumping his ass. I mean, Nick King can mess with Christensen right here, try to screw him up, and that could help Nick King out to try to get closer, to try to get to 17th or keep it in 17th. He does not want Christensen to try to jump up here and get a hold of 16th or 17th. As we see Warren Young going down pit road, he's going to call it a night. But Christensen back to 5th right here. Like you said, he's got a shot right here to get him a top 5 easy.
Yeah, Warren Young mad as hell as he drives down the corner and just yeets it, said, I'm out of here. I've been there. I know what that's like. You have a good race and have somebody just clean you out, damage your car, and you just drive down. I usually try to find the pit road barrels. Those are usually my favorite ones to hit. Like turn 1 at Sunoco, or not Sunoco, but Sonoma is probably a good one. Anything you can just get some good air up a motor, that's a good place to do it. I feel you, Warren Young. I've been there before. But I can hear the dip is in for the Redneck announcer. That usually means that we're getting down to crunch time in this race, and that's exactly where we are. Now, up front, Matt Cox has the lead. This time, though, Vikey, they're here at the end of this long run. 20-lap fresher tires for Brandon Vikey, although he only took 2. So he took 2 as well. So a little bit, crossing the streams here for these two. But Bikey has been running him down ever so slightly the last few laps, been about a 10th faster. Now, how hard is Bikey running, trying to get there? How much easier is Matt Cox driving to try to maybe bait in? You know, I've done this before where you got a guy that's running you down, and yeah, you can push hard and try to equal his time, but you could just take it easy. Leave your tires, let them stay cool, let the guy try to run you down from a second and a half, and then when he gets to you, then you start laying down the lap times, and he's already heated up his tires. So you wonder if Matt's doing that, or if Bikey can keep it together. We're going to have a battle for the lead, I think, in just a few laps.
Yeah, it's going to be another shootout just like it was in the spring race right here with Cox and Bikey. And you know 100% right now that Bikey has got that in the back of his mind. No, hell no, it ain't in the back of his mind. It's literally right on his mind. Whatever he's got going on in real life, it is literally went out the door right now. He is thinking about what happened back in the spring. So close to beating Matt Cox here at Richmond. He has found new life. He has a shot to try to get Cox, and he is closing in, closed in about a tenth that last lap. He's got plenty of time, but Eddie, he's got to be careful with the. He's got to be careful with the car. He's been getting a little loose off before. He kept it straight that time. See if he picked up. Yes, another 10 on Matt Cox right here. Bikey is coming right here. He does not want to be the bridesmaid for 2 races in a row here at Richmond. He wants to get the win, and he wants it here tonight.
Yeah, Matt Cox got a little bit of lap traffic in front of him. Blaine is plenty fast, but that still kind of dumps a little bit of dirty air. You kind of, I mean, what aero advantage you have at a short track like this, you lose it with somebody in front of you. So he's dealing with lap traffic, and that's going to definitely put, he's going to really lose a lot of time there as Barry Sanders. I mean, just the worst place to catch some slower traffic is off of 2, and he caught it exactly that time and had to really put a little wheel into it. And now Bikey is all over the back bumper of the 32. It is about to get spicy here as we got less than 13 laps to go in this race, and we still got some lap traffic up here. Cox going, please, Blaine, get out of the way. Don't be there. Here comes Bikey looking down to the inside. Blaine going to pull up, let these guys go. That's a class act there from the 18. Now they're going to battle it out, clean track in front of them. What can Bikey do here? Not a whole lot of time. You got to make that move now. You wait too long, it's going to be too late. Because you know that Cox is going to battle hard. He's going to make that outside work. You're really going to have to put the pressure on him if you're Bikey.
As one of my favorite broadcasters, Dave Moody, the Godfather, would say, it is showtime here at the short track at Richmond. Cox and Bikey battling it out, first and second. Don't count out back there in third place, not too far back from this. Randy Mullins about a second back from this battle. He may be laying in the weeds, maybe trying to see if he can save him a little bit and get up here and pounce right here. Coming around this time, 11 laps to go. Bikey is there. He's on the inside. Cox is up top. Bikey has gotten to the inside. He has ran down Cox, but Cox gonna send it in, going into 1. Bikey wrapping the bottom, literally all around the yellow line. They almost make contact. Bikey gets loose off 2, and Cox is gonna be able to get away.
Yeah, Randy Mullins loving this. He's thinking back to Shane Parrish and Alex Coffey going, let's see if 2 leaders get together battling for this lead. I am in the right spot, and Randy Mullins has been the fastest car on the track the last 3 laps. So these guys battling has really drawn the 54 in. And I'll tell you what, I don't think that it's just going to be a 2-way battle once we get to lap 250, as Bikey going to go back on the charge and try to get this lead.
Yeah, Bikey obviously a lot faster right now than Matt Cox is. And like you said, Eddie, he has got to get there. He has got to make the move, and he's got to get around Cox. Obviously, talked about it back in the spring. These guys finished 1-2, exactly where they're running right now. Cox slides up. Bikey wraps the bottom, literally right up on the back bumper, damn near shoving him going down the front stretch. Bikey gonna ease off the gas a little bit, try to roll it right here on the exit, maybe get a good bite. We'll see if he can get there. Bikey gets a run, a little bit better than Cox, but still all over his back bumper. Coming to the line this time, 7 laps to go. Bikey almost gets into the back bumper. He's going to try to get to the inside at the start-finish line.
He did, gave him a little shot there, try to get him up out of the groove on exit. They're coming up on some lap traffic, and boy, you hate to see that. Bikey, though, gets a great run through 1 and 2. Now I think he's going to have it. He does. Bikey to the lead.
Bikey finally gets to the lead, but you got lap traffic right here in front of them. You got Chris Davis and Alex Coffey, both of them up here in front of Brandon Bikey and Matt Cox. Now Cox, he's got to be on the offense. He's got to try to get up here and get him some of Brandon Bikey.
Oh, he gets loose.
Bikey's been very fast. Now Davis, he's going to jump to the bottom. He's going to be a class act and let the leaders go by. Here comes Alex Coffey. They're now catching Alex Coffey. Bikey down to the inside of Coffey. And, wow, a mess happened on Matt Cox. Maybe got loose. Something might have happened on that 32, but that 27 is checking out. Here comes Randy Mullins up on the back bumper of Cox.
Yeah, last 2 laps off of 2, Cox has really lit those rear tires up, and he has been out of shape. And so those rear tires on fire for the 32. That opens the door for the 54. 4 laps to go. Now, obviously, Matt Cox tires out of commission. What does Randy Mullins have for the 27? He is out of time. He is going to have to figure something out quick. He is about 7/10 of a second. He's going to have to gain 2/10 a second a lap. I just don't know if he could do that without a caution, but we're going to find out here at the line. Brandon Bikey, 3 laps to go. Crossing the line, Bikey, 23.025. Randy Mullins, 22.984. That's not going to be enough. Lap traffic of Barry Sanders stays high. Randy Mullins going to look down to the inside. Everything holds steady for Brandon Bikey. He has got the lead. He's got plenty of space. Not even enough space to drive from 5 car lengths back and hit him. He is in good shape here as we go to 2 to go.
Yeah, I mean, there's not enough room even if Mullins wanted to try to hit him in the back bumper, but Bikey coming off of turn number 2. Mullins right behind him. Mullins hit a 23.0. Bikey hit a 23.1. That's not going to be enough. Mullins has got to close the gap, or he's got to pray like hell for a wreck off of 4. No caution yet on the speedway. White flag in the air. Bikey trying to cruise and finally get some redemption here at Richmond.
Randy Mullins really closing in 2/10 faster that lap, but I just don't think, unless something just collapses for this 27 car, I don't think it's going to be enough. Going down into 3 and 4, Randy Mullins sends it in there. Not close enough. Coming off of turn 4, Brandon Bikey will win here at Richmond in the Ram 250.
Sweet redemption for Brandon Bikey. Gets the win here tonight. Randy Mullins gets up there, gives him a little love tap. Was probably trying to congratulate him, but ends up turning Bikey around right there. But Bikey gets the win. Mullins will get second. Cox third. Hunter Carmichael will end up finishing 4th. And Jeffrey Taylor, one of those guys down there close to that cut line, comes out of here with a very, very quiet top 5 here tonight. That's going to shake them points up big time when we go to Michigan next week.
Yeah, great run there for Bikey. He was always in the conversation in this race. Mostly stayed out of trouble. Didn't really have any run-ins with anybody. And able to run Matt Cox down there at the end. Doing a little bit of victory lap in reverse down the front straightaway. Well, let's go through your results, and we'll see where everybody finished here, and then we'll jump into interviews. You can see the fireworks going off there. But let's get in some interviews, or get the results here, and we'll see where everybody finished. Brandon Bikey, Randy Mullins, Matt Cox, your top 3, with Hunter Carmichael there in 4th, and Jeffrey Taylor able to get that top 5. Great job by him. Nigel Christensen will come home in 6th, and somehow, just through defying all odds, Shane Parrish comes home in 7th. Paul Gallimore in 8th. Johnny Shade, that's somebody else we've been talking about, who is on the outside looking in, and look at that, a top 10 finish for him. And Matt Mackin in that 01 rounds out your top 10.
And Jamison Medelmus will be 11th. He's the last driver to finish on the lead lap. The rest of these drivers 1 lap down or more. Jordan Schmeets will get 12th. Alex Coffey, all the hell he went through, he had a shot. He was probably one of the best cars here tonight, but the contact, him and Shane Parrish, sent him back a couple of laps. He still gets 13th here tonight. Nick King will end up getting 14th with Chris Davis in 15th. Justin Belmont sitting in 16th. Jared Clark will get 17th. Blaine Wilson will get 18th. Tim Wortman Jr., hate to see it for him. The winless streak will continue. He will finish 19th, and Barry Sanders rounds out the top 20.
21st is Aaron Matthews. He will not get defend his podium finish, but he had a great run in 21st. Warren Young, obviously very upset, in 22nd. Chris Spear in 23rd. Ryan Huff, 24th. 25th, Brandon Fetterplace. And Caden Norfree in 26th. Matthew Campbell, 27th. Nicholas Atwood, 28th. Darren Mills in 29th. 15 cautions here tonight. That is less than we had in the spring. So good job by everybody to improve on that. And man, I can't wait to talk to some of these drivers. What do you say? Let's bring in the winner here first. We'll talk to him and see what he thought about this race. Brandon Bikey, this is Eddie and Jake in the booth. You got a copy?
I got you guys.
Well, man, what a great drive by you. Started, didn't have a great qualifying run. Started in the top 10, but you knew you had a fast piece and you knew you had the skill to get up towards the front. You were a little bit more patient than others. A lot of extracurricular stuff going on here tonight, but you're able to slowly make your way to the front. And then you got up there and were just battling in the top three for a while. And then finally got that breakthrough on that final run, got around Matt Cox. So congratulations on the victory. Talk a little bit about your race. That 27 looked pretty quick.
Yeah, man, that was a lot of fun. Cox is a teammate of mine, super fast, and I don't know if we would have been on equal tires if I would have been able to catch him and beat him. So I knew I had to do something a little different. So that's why I went in and took those tires, 2 tires on that last stop. And I needed to loosen up a little bit. And 2 tires usually does that just a hair. And it felt great the rest of the run. So, you know, I, I'm always a proponent of trying to take my time, trying to be clean with passing, all that stuff. And it usually pays off with consistency and decent finishes to really good finishes. So, it was fun. I wish more people drove like that. I think we'd have a lot less cautions and a lot more fun. So, that's the hope. And we'll see if maybe I can sort of point us in the direction we need to go to have some really good quality, high quality races and finishes.
Passing very difficult here at Richmond. It's been that way for a while, but different tire strategies really kind of allowed some passing. But kind of what was your go to move trying to make passes? Get it? I mean, you got to the front early. Kind of what's your go to move? What corner were you trying to make the move? It was very difficult once a car was on your outside to make that pass. Talk to us a little bit how you were able to make those passes here tonight.
Yeah, I think I always set someone up to try to pass them starting on the straightaway. So on either corner, I was having pretty good success with just taking a very wide sweep into the corner, kind of back in the corner just a little bit, and just getting a hellacious runoff and getting at least right beside them going into the next corner. And then, from there, it's just who can outbrake who and who can keep it on the bottom and try to get some gas off. So I think if you were just starting a pass on the back, on either front stretch or back stretch going into the corner, you probably weren't going to get the job done. But if you were equal with them, then it was likely you could get the job done if you get the corner right. So it's tough passing for sure. Tire strategy had everything to do with passing, for the most part. So we just played it right, and a couple of leaders got together earlier in the race. Sometimes Christmas comes in August, so I got lucky tonight.
Well, hey, fantastic race out of you. That 27 was was on point. Talk to us a little bit about the number change. What was the decision behind to change your number from 1 to 27?
Yeah, so 27's been my number since I was in NASCAR 4. It's my favorite number. It's after Eddie George of The Ohio State University, one of my favorite players. So I love the number. I just couldn't run it because there was a guy in here earlier in the season and last season that had the 27. So once he left, I was able to go ahead and jump in that number, and it looks like it's paying dividends so far.
Very cool. I'm a Titans fan. Been Titans fan
Oh
since they
yeah.
were in Houston, so I'm a big Eddie George fan myself. Well, man, congratulations on a win here tonight. That was a good win. I mean, I would have loved to win this race. That was how good it is. And racing was pretty incredible. Some cautions, but less cautions than what we had in the spring, so that's always a plus. And you were able to come away with the victory. Congratulations. Who do you have to thank?
Yeah, I want to thank my whole team, Beast Mode Performance. Everybody's amazing on there. Jeff, Schmeets, Atwood, Gallimore, Parrish, both the Davises. Shane couldn't make the race tonight, but he was spotting for me, so he was still helping the team. So love that. Matt Cox, Matt Campbell, and then a couple of guys that were, it looks like in the chat watching, Wayne Bowen, St. Core. Those guys are just great teammates, always help me out, and we make ourselves faster just by working together. So I want to thank everybody there, and big thanks to Kenny Coppola and TWRS. The setup was just on rails tonight, better than all. In my opinion, it was better than any of the other setups out there. So I want to thank Kenny Coppola. Hopefully he can get back out here and race soon. And, thank you guys for doing what you do. And thanks Barry Sanders for putting on this league. And, we just want to keep making it better and keep having great races for everybody. And, that's all I got to say.
All right, well, there you have it. Brandon Bikey, your winner here tonight at Richmond, able to get it there at the last little bit, and what a great drive that was. But I mean, fan favorite here, Jake Reeves. I think you caught up with Randy Mullins.
Absolutely. Got Randy Mullins up here in the broadcast booth. And Randy, started 19th, ended up getting second, buddy. Tell us about your race.
Yeah, I put myself in a hole early in qualifying there. But picked up a little damage in stage one, had to get that fixed. Kind of just bought my time and worked my way through there. Got where I felt I needed to be and wanted to be. And then one of those restarts, we just kind of, I started on the outside. The 88 was on the inside. He just kind of come in there hot, locked him up, got into me a little bit, but I saved it. But then I had to start all over again. So I had to drive all the way back to the front. And it seemed like the times when I got the position and was saving, a caution would come. So, I mean, yeah, I came home second. I wish we could have got the win with us sponsoring the race tonight. But you know what? I can't complain. And hey, my hat's off to Brandon. He came down pit road that last caution and took tires. And I think that's what did it. But hey, congratulations to him and his team. And we'll keep digging and try to get one or two more before the playoffs start.
Absolutely. And, you got 3 races left before the playoffs kick off, obviously. You got Michigan, you got Daytona, and then you got Darlington. Which one are you looking forward to the most to close out this regular season?
If I had to pick one in particular, it'd be Darlington. I really love that place. Seem to always come out of there with the top 5. So we put in a little effort. I think we might be able to come out of there with a win. And then Michigan, it's all in the draft. Just make sure you take the runs. And Daytona's a crapshoot, so anything can happen there. So yeah, definitely have to be Darlington.
Darlington called it right there for Randy Mullins. He may have a shot to go out there and get him another win and try to pad that point lead. And obviously, Randy, I mean, like I said, 3 races left. Looking pretty good as far as the regular season. Even though you've got the regular season points lead going into these last 3 races, are we thinking about that? Or are we just trying to, like I said earlier in the broadcast, just throw it on the wall, see if it sticks over these next 3 weeks and just try something different? Or are we still points racing for these next 3 weeks?
I'm still going to points race. I got the points lead. Alex is right on my heels, though. He had some bad luck tonight, but I really didn't capitalize. I didn't get any stage points, but I had a good finish, so that helps. So, yeah, I would like to win the regular season just for the simple fact I got 21 playoff points now, and that will only add to it. Give you a 1 race buffer during the playoffs is what I'm trying to accomplish here.
Randy Mullins gets second here tonight, buddy. Also congratulations on that second place finish. And before we let you go, you got any sponsors, any shout outs? You got a lot of fans out there in the live chat. You got any sponsors, any shout outs you want to thank?
Yes, sir. I want to thank you guys up in the booth for broadcasting. You guys do a hell of a job every week. And thank Barry for putting on the league. And to thank my sponsors, OB Builders, Ram Welding and Fabrication. And then I got a lot of people that tune in. I don't exactly know who or how many, but I know a lot of them text me before or the next day. So definitely shout out all my fans out there. And hopefully we'll give them something to talk about next week as well.
Absolutely. Chase it. Randy Mullins ends up finishing second here tonight. Randy, appreciate your time. We'll see you at Michigan next week.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Well, that was your second place finisher. And man, I tell you what, somebody who had the most up and down race, wide, left and right, and all the other axes. I don't know. Matt Cox. I mean, great race for you, man. A wild one. You led 53 laps here. You're the winner in the spring. Up and down race, but that 32 machine was really, really fast. Talk to us a little bit about your race. How did it go for you? What were you trying to fight to you? I mean, you started in 7th, but slowly worked your way up towards the front. Well, the first lap you went to the back, didn't you?
I like to make it hard.
Yeah, me too.
I'm not fond of it. It was not easy. No, I self-spun there, just being an idiot. But yeah, so we went to the back and then basically just battling traffic because, you know, you saw. There I got in several kerfuffles on the way back up to the front. But yeah, at the end, I don't think I had I don't think I had a chance to make the right call there when that last caution came out. I think maybe if I would have gotten the cautions that I hope to get, I'd have been all right. But yeah, I don't know. I think I had the fastest car. I just didn't have the best strategy.
Well, you were the fastest in practice, and I mean, I think the first two tire call I thought was really really great. It just he was able to go down and get that get the second one, but I mean the 32 Bears. Dub Bears machine was really fast, but I mean you're locked into the playoffs. You're playoff racing. We just got a few more races left. What's your thoughts going into the next few races? You're locked in. You know you don't have to worry about it, but you know momentum is a real thing, even on virtual racing. So how do you get yourself prepared for this playoff run?
Yeah, I mean, just keep doing what I'm doing. I'm just trying to race clean, trying to keep the car in one piece. It doesn't always work that way, but just trying to be consistent. I think I've got the consistency down. I just kind of need to take it to the next level and actually get the wins.
Well, I think they're definitely coming. I mean, they keep knocking off these podium finishes. You got Michigan, Daytona, Darlington up next. Seemed like pretty good tracks for you. So congratulations on third place finish, man. Really exciting, fun watching you drive up to the field a couple times. But who do you have to thank? Any sponsor shout outs?
Just one shout out. Want to shout out to my son, Jameson. He's going to be starting kindergarten tomorrow, so big day for him. Really excited to get him off to school, so that'll be cool.
All right, well there you have it. Matt Cox got a kid ready for kindergarten. That's exciting. But that's going to do it for us, Jake. I mean, golly, there was a lot going on in this race. I mean, a lot of tempers, a lot of upset folks. And then you got Brandon Bikey up there taking the victory. I don't know, man. What are your thoughts after a pretty exciting race?
Well, Eddie, it was a very, very exciting race, even though there was 15 cautions. I mean, you're going to have that on a short track, with guys, trying to drive in, trying to make passes, and then guys end up getting tangled up. I mean, it happens. It's short track racing, but, Brandon Bikey, we talked about it. Sweet, sweet redemption out of the number 127, whichever number he wants to be called at this point. But shout out to him because, that's big, especially when you go to a track, when you come so damn close to trying to win the race. You had, probably another lap, Mikey would have probably won that race, I would assume. So to get that sweet redemption, that means a lot. And, I know a lot of drivers that have went through that sweet redemption process, and they've got to be able to redeem themselves at the same track and be able to get that win. So congratulations to Bikey and the drivers and the fans and everybody. It's going to be a good one over the next couple of weeks. Who's going to make it in the playoffs? Who's going to be, I guess you could say, on the outside, left out in the cold? It's going to be an interesting next 3 weeks.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we're going to get you out of here. It's been a long one, and we definitely appreciate everybody for watching. Hope y'all enjoyed the race, OB Builders Cup Series, and man, it's been a great season. We're glad to be back. Can't wait to get back into the next few races, so we'll come on back. But I want to thank Ram for their sponsorship of the Ram 250, OB Builders, all of the drivers who put on a great show here tonight, and Barry Sanders for all his work here in this series. Got a little fireworks there for you as we get on out of here. We'll see y'all next week. Y'all have a good one.